So I'm on Diamond Castle right now. I just started it a few seconds ago. But is anyone else seeing an upgrade in the animation? Like I think this might be where they kind of changed directions a little bit, made things a bit more softer. I don't know.
'Cause nothing can break this. Nothing can break this.
Wait, is there a third girl singing? Wait a minute.
Connected. Yeah.
Whoa. Who's getting all sister act on this movie? Get it, sis?
'Cause nothing can
Wait, I want to
break
see if I'm right.
this. Nothing can break this. Nothing can break this tie. Connected.
Everybody who grew up with this movie. Okay, so they're in a bar right now, and I'm only they're being backup musicians, and I can only hope that this scene will turn out like, okay, if you guys have seen the movie Blues Brothers, great movie, would recommend, where the Blues Brothers go to like that honky tonk bar, and they and they proceed to sing like Rawhide, and all the customers are throwing like beer bottles at them. I'll put in a clip if I can to show you, but I'm hoping it turns out like that in this movie. Okay, these two guys give off major, like, frat boy energy, but also a guy who can play guitar at the party and really wants you to know about it energy. That's what these two douches give off. Diamond Castle, it's good. It's a good movie. But I don't know. Okay, let me get to the stuff that I liked about it. First of all, puppers. I had to say it because yes, there are dogs in this movie, and I love them both very much. Second of all, I really liked the friendship between the two girls, Barbie and Teresa. Although in the movie they're called Alexa. I tried not to make a "this is so sad, Alexa played Despacito" joke when their house caught on fire. And the other girl, I think her name is Ilana. I don't know how to say it. They said it very few times in the movie, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, I really liked the friendship between them. And Melody as well. She was cool. Let me think. I don't know. I liked how the movie was tied to music itself. I really like when, like, songs are diegetic in movies, because, like, it makes a little bit more sense in an environment, that the characters are in. Like, for instance, like, two characters actually performing a song, in, like, I don't know, like a stage setting, instead of just out of nowhere musical number, which I love, by the way. I love both. I love diegetic and non-diegetic musical numbers for the most part. But I'm just saying, it's nice to see. I feel like I might be the only person in the world who notices or cares about this. But in, like, the past movies from, like, 2001 to, like, 2008, whatever, you notice the character model on Barbie has this, like, weird pink eyeshadow, like this light pink on her eye, which I think is supposed to be eyeshadow, but it's really distracting, especially on the older character models, and it's really weird. Also, Teresa's in this movie, and if you guys don't know Teresa, she's Barbie. She's one of Barbie's friends, and I like when the Barbie movies incorporate like like her friends and stuff, like the secondary Barbie characters into the movies themselves and stuff. Like, I think that's a cool thing to do. So you have that. The stuff that I thought, okay, the villain, Lydia, like, I don't know. Like, honestly, if I were the two other muses of music, I would have just, like, kicked her to the curb. Because, listen, anytime you're in a Barbie movie and there's, like, an edgy one amongst you, like, you know that she's gonna turn evil. I'm not saying that as, like, a thing against, like, all edgy people, but no, I'm just saying, in the Barbie universe, if you have, like, spikes on your dress, if you're wearing, like, red, if you have really high hair and, like, angry brows, you're a villain. Also, if you sound the same in literally every movie with a female villain has the same voice actress. And I don't know if there's an in Barbie universe explanation for that. Like, I don't know. Which I'll get to. I'll get to that in, like, I think the next movie is where I think, like, my little child brain at the time figured it out. Okay, the songs, Okay, this may be an unpopular opinion, but, the songs are good, but they're very repetitive, and they don't really move the story along, which is what a musical is supposed to do. Like, I don't know, I don't know, because the music doesn't really move the story along, except for the song that, at, like, close to the end, where they have to, like, oh no, we gotta get melody from the mirror, we gotta sing it. I don't remember the title. And the villain song. Other than that, there really aren't that many songs that move the plot along. Also, what's another interesting thing about this movie is the songs are pretty much all acoustic, which is nice. It's a nice change of pace, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it gave me like Starbucks, like, coffee shop vibes, honestly. A little bit, like, we stan. Yeah, I do like acoustic. I do like acoustic music sometimes. Like, again, you know, if I'm just in, like, a mood, I'll, like, turn on some relaxing acoustic. But most of the time, like, that's just not how, I don't know. It's not, the songs aren't bad. Let me say that right now. They are not bad. I actually do like, I do like a couple of them. Like, Connected, that's a bop. Like, One Heart, I don't know. I don't know the lyrics, but it's like that one. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie, I'm sure. Anyway, I don't know. The music, it's not as good as Princess and the Pauper or Island Princess, because those I kind of rank it, like, the same. But I do have to say, like, again, there are some merits to the music. I think the instrumentation is very nice. Even though acoustic is not, like, my favorite genre, like, they aren't bad to listen to. They aren't ear-grating. But also, the harmonies in this movie, like, they are godly. I love the harmonies in this movie so much. I love interests for the two of them. I did like them, but not gonna lie, they did kind of give off douchey guitar frat boy vibes, if you know what I'm talking about. That might be, I don't know, that may not make much sense, but, like, maybe it will to some people, I don't know. They just give off that vibe. They also give off, like, Fred and George Weasley vibes, like, a lot. Maybe it's because they're twins and British. So, anyways, I liked them. I liked them, but are they my favorite? No, but I thought that they were a nice presence to have. But yeah, overall, Diamond Castle, it's a good movie. It is a good movie. Another thing, I think the friendship between the two girls and Melody, but mostly between the two girls, that really makes this movie, you know what I mean? Because most of these Barbie movies, they have, like, it's Barbie and, like, oh, her, like, little side friend who's here for, like, 5 minutes of screen time. But in this one, no, they share, like, equal screen time. They both have, like, their own little, you know, they have their own little characters and such, you know. But yeah, Diamond Castle. I liked it. There are a few drawbacks, a little bit. Like, I don't know, I didn't find the villain too interesting myself. It was basically just Laverna, but in red. And that's it. I don't know, I don't know, the villain didn't do too much for me, honestly. Again, I've listed all my reasons. I give this one a solid, I give it an 8. I still, you know, I feel like for all the stuff that this movie does that is kind of, you know, like, kind of meh to me, I think that the friendship really, you know, is really the crux of this movie, and I enjoy that a lot. Okay, so I was right. Barbie is Scrooge in this version, which I'm very happy about, by the way, because that, I don't know, I just, seeing Barbie be a jerk in one of these movies, it's a fun little turn of events. But also, I'm really curious as to how they'll kind of tackle the different ghosts. Like, the past and present ghosts, like, I can understand, you know, pretty standard, you know. But the ghosts of the future, however, that's one that I'm kind of curious about, because in every other adaptation that I can think of, which is a lot, like, you know, future ghost, very brooding, very dark, like, really dark stuff, like, even in, like, the, like, Mickey Mouse version, if you guys have seen that, you guys are the real MVP. 10% remaining. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just curious as to how they'll tackle that. Hopefully, like if Barbie can do ominous, right? Like that'd be great. Okay, I have to film this part of the video for A Christmas Carol again because for some reason I don't think I turned my camera on last night. Listen, it was late when I finished the movie. It was like 1 a.m. So I don't know, but I do remember my thoughts on the movie. Okay, so this movie is it's interesting. It's not okay. Okay, here's the thing that I liked about this movie. Number one, I liked Eden as a character. She is basically just female Ebenezer Scrooge with a few differences going on. By a few, I mean a fair bit. They cut down like a lot of what Scrooge's backstory would be. Like Eden doesn't have the fiance. She doesn't have, you know, all that like little extra bits of the backstory that Scrooge does. I don't know, but I like the angle. I like that she's kind of a prima donna-esque character. I like her friendship with her friend Catherine. So there is that, and I like how their friendship kind of pertains through this whole movie, I guess, because we see it in the past, we see it in the present, and we see it in the future. Well, they technically aren't really friends in the future that we see in the movie, but it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, their relationship, I guess, is what I mean. Their relationship kind of persists and changes throughout the movie as Eden herself changes. The Ghost of Christmas Future, I was surprised because she was so nice and cordial. Where Ghost of Christmas Future normally is not like that. Like I said earlier, like dark hood, like pretty silent guy, you know, all of that, whatever. This movie, no. I don't know why they didn't have it like that, but I don't know. Ghost of Christmas Past, I don't know. I thought that she seemed a little bit too, like, I don't know, dumb, I guess is the right word for it. I don't know, because she could not read a room very well, which I guess could be part of this version's character, like, whatever, I don't know. Speaking of the past, Eden's past, it doesn't show, like, the multiple reasons why she might hate Christmas. She shows one reason. She shows, like, one little piece of her past, and she shows one little bit where she just got yelled at by her aunt, and we don't even get to see it. That's the thing that gets me. Like, I know that this movie's only like a little over an hour, and they had to keep it going, you know. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, but did we really, like, I don't know. I really wish we actually saw the aunt yell at her or whatever, because we don't get to see it. We just get told, oh yeah, well, that's why I don't like Christmas, because my aunt yelled at me multiple times and I couldn't go over to my friend's house, you know? Like, that shouldn't ruin her Christmases. But it did, but I guess she couldn't go over to the friend's house anymore. So I guess that's a big bummer. I wish they could have shown more. Like, that's the thing about this movie. I wish they could have pushed the envelope a little bit more. You know what I mean? And I know that this is a Barbie movie, and I know that I should keep my expectations on that a little bit lower. And I did, but I was still hoping to be pleasantly surprised. I wasn't. I was like, okay, this is going in a manner that I kind of expected. But the future, again, it's really the future that I have the problem with, because, number one, they should have killed off the orphans. I feel so bad for saying that. But no, because think about it. There's this one little orphan who has the exact same hairstyle as Eden, like very talented, overdubbed, you know, children, you know, whatever. So there's this one girl named Tammy. She's an orphan and everything. It's like, okay. I was like, okay, so this is supposed to be Tiny Tim for this version. Okay. Thing about it is, we don't know what happens to her. All we know is, like, in the possible future, you know, that we don't even get told, oh, are these the things that may be or the things that will be or something like that. She doesn't say that. They don't say that. It's just like, oh yeah, well, there's this whole butterfly effect, you know, there's a million of different ways, which kind of is like, okay, that kind of leaves Eden's possible concerns kind of, I don't know. I wish we could have gotten that line in there, but
whatever, it's fine. But the little girl, I wish we would have gotten more with her, you know, instead of like, I don't know, I think it would have been better if they killed off Tammy. You know, it would have made more of an impact, because all we know is just that the orphanage closed, and we can sort of, I don't know, maybe she did get adopted at some point before that, or maybe, I don't know, but we don't have any concrete information on what happened to her. And that's a big punch in the original of like, oh no, because I did these terrible things, you know, because I didn't do anything for the orphans or anything. Like, I don't know, like a kid died. Like, that's a whole thing. That's the whole thing in the original. That's the whole thing in the original, where Scrooge is like, oh man, I didn't give Bob Cratchit enough money. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And like, now a kid is dead, partially, if at most of all, because of me, you know? And that's a whole thing. And the thing about it is, I wish they would have, I don't know, the whole thing is around the orphans in this movie, because instead, like, the orphans really don't make that much of an impact in this movie, except they're a part of Catherine's other show. You know, Catherine is helping them with their little Christmas pageant thing, which is like, okay, fine, great. But I wish they would have turned up earlier in the movie. Maybe some of them or all of them come to like Eden, like Eden's door singing Christmas carols or something. Like in the original, there's a scene like that, if I remember right. And he just like, boom, she shuts him out. Like, oh man, what have those children ever done for me? You know, whatever. Like, I don't need this. I don't like Christmas or something like that. But instead, they just get in the middle of the story like, oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, well, orphans are a bunch of humbug to you, aren't they? And then Eden's like, but there wasn't any build up to that, and I wish there was. It wouldn't have added, you know, it would have added a little bit more to it. I don't know. I wish they could have done more. Like, I feel like missed potential is the problem with this movie, because this is the thing that really gets me. If I saw this before any of the other versions I've seen made by family-friendly properties or kids properties, whatever you want to say, like, you know, the Mickey Mouse one, which is my favorite, if not one of my favorite adaptations, or the Muppet version even, like, those two things, which are primarily geared towards families or kids or whatever, to around the same Barbie demographic, they're showing stuff like that. Like, they're, you know, they kill off the kid, they kill off, you know, Scrooge, but they don't do that in the Barbie version. And I'm like, okay, if Disney can do it, and if the Muppets can do that, why can't you? Why can't you, Mattel? Go ballsy with it. I don't know.
I hate her so much. Girl, your eyebrows are not fooling anybody. I still hate you.
Just got finished with Thumbelina, and oh boy, oh man, that was so boring, I'm not gonna lie. Man, no wonder I didn't hear about this movie back in the day. I can see why no one talks about this one. I'm not too familiar with the original Thumbelina story, but I don't think this is it. Like, I noticed, like, a lot in the late 2000s, because this was made in, like, 2009, I noticed that there was, like, a lot of environmental messages going around, which isn't a bad thing. You know what I mean? Because the environment is very important. I will give it that. But I don't know. I don't know. When it's not really done correctly, it kind of just seems preachy and, like, I don't know. It's not executed very well in a lot of things, including this movie, because it was so boring. It was so anticlimactic. Like, there's no big bad in this movie. Well, I guess there's, like, the guy who's building the factory, I guess, but he barely shows up, and he's not much of a villain. He gets defeated very easily. Like, I hated the parents. I hated the girl, what's her name, McKenna. I hated her. I hated her friends. One of them was voiced by Ashley Ball, so that's cool. Actually, there was a lot of MLP voice actresses in this, from both past and present, which is, it's not uncommon. I've definitely noticed throughout these movies, but I don't know, it's just a fun little tidbit. I don't know. But either way, I did not really like the characters too much. I thought Thumbelina herself was boring.
Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, it really, it's just really boring. I could not. This is like the one movie where I couldn't really keep myself engaged for that long. And I was sorting through Sims 4, or no, I was sorting through my Sims 3 screenshots simultaneously while watching this, which took like a while. But yeah, I felt so bored. I give this movie 3 out of 10. The only reason why I'm giving it that high of a score is because the message, I think, is a good one overall. The animation wasn't too bad. And I don't know, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I got really bored. Like, this is the worst one so far, just out of pure just story.
Dog.
Tim Curry's bad guy.
Did you see that? I have developed a
That was a
prototype
surprise.
that floats
Like,
suspended in the air. Just
he
think
was
how
just
this
like,
discovery will
you know
work
what?
my
It's been
flying
8
machine.
years. I'll do another one of these. I need the
Even man
cash.
will-
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. This seemed cool, man.
Promise not to say anything to Madame. I've been training to be a musketeer. What? So have I. Me too. Ditto.
What a coincidence.
You've seen so before.
Sure, the prince could be killed at any moment, but let's have a ball gown montage. Okay, so Three Musketeers is done with. I actually, you know what? That movie wasn't that bad. For starters, as a definite high point, it has Tim Curry voicing the villain again, which, like, I thought that was just like a one-time thing, but no, he's done 2 of these movies. Maybe he's done more, but I don't remember. So for now, all I know is that he's done 2. He did Nutcracker, and then he came back for this one. I don't know, I was kind of expecting... I don't know what I was expecting when I came into this movie. I was not expecting... So from what I can gather, again, I'm not super familiar with the Three Musketeers story outside of, like, the Wishbone episode of it, which I saw back in, like, 3rd grade. If anyone remembers Wishbone, you're a real one. Also, I also grew up with the 2004, I think, and it was, like, the Mickey Mouse version. If you guys remember that one, you were also a real one. Anyway, so I'm not too familiar on the story itself, but I don't know, but I do know some things for certain. And I like that it kind of, I guess it was kind of implied or stated that Corinne, aka Barbie's character, is the daughter of D'Artagnan, which I think was an interesting way to kind of, reference the original, the story, which is cool. That's nice. That's a nice nod. I like that. I like the maid being, like, sort of the mentor for the girls. The girls themselves, their personalities were, like, pretty basic, all things considered, but, like, there was 4 of them. You really couldn't really have time to give the others, like, more character than, I guess, Corinne, because she's, like, main girl, main chick. Speaking of which, I did like her character. I liked all of them. They were all nice, but Corinne was probably the best out of all of them. Which, I mean, makes sense because she's the main character. Anyway, I like how the maid played sort of a mentor role, and she taught them how to be, like, musketeers. So I thought that was cool. Speaking of which, the action scenes were actually pretty well choreographed, all things considered. Like, I don't know, I'm impressed with how that was done a little bit. Like, that was good. Like, again, and like, I don't know, it kept me engaged, which is a good thing, because I have a feeling these Barbie movies are gonna get me less and less engaged as time goes on. I feel like, judging by the last movie I had to sit through. But I don't know, I thought that the action scenes were good. I like the prince. Like, we've had a few characters similar to him before, like, oh, I wanna do other things besides being a prince. But, like, I don't know, I like how he was definitely focused on the whole inventing thing. With air travel specifically, I thought that was a nice touch. I like the whole plot element of, oh no, someone's trying to assassinate the prince. We gotta figure that out. Like, or well, by we, I mean we the audience clearly know that it's Tim Curry and the guy who kind of looks like Venom Snake from Metal Gear Solid, but with a handlebar mustache. Speaking of which, like, how in the world, okay, the ballroom scene where, like, I think it's Tim Curry's character and Corinne, like, they're having that sword fight directly behind the prince, like, literally right behind his back, and he doesn't notice. He's just standing there looking at the fireworks. He doesn't bat an eye, and nobody in the background does either. It's really weird. So where did the cat get the little, like, musketeer hat? Where did he get the little mask? Why would the cat need a mask? Oh, but that had me rolling. Also, I was not expecting that, like, you know that part I was laughing about earlier, the lady Barbecue? Those sound like sim names. I'm gonna name one of my sims Barbecue. Just watch. I'm gonna do it. But, like, they rolled with it. And there's this one scene where, like, Corinne and Tim Curry's character, they're on, like, the castle roof, and they're, like, sword fighting and whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, the prince is like, Lady Barbecue, look out! And I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be an intense scene, or, well, as intense as you can make it in these movies, and you just like, Lady Barbecue, and expect the scene to, like, go on with the tension? No! You know what? I'll give it an 8. It was pretty good. Netflix coming through. Ooh, you can really see the dust on my screen. No. Like, look at how cartoony Barbie looks. Like, I don't know. Like, her sugar daddy has arrived. Oh my lord, he got some dark circles. I've never seen, like, an old man in any of these movies, I don't think. Like, this is surreal to me right now. A little bit. It's weird. Oh, it's her grandpa. Never mind.
Well, that depends. You mean weird like, whoa?
Oh, he definitely was a stoner. Whoa.
Or weird like, whoa.
Weird
What was that? I hated that inflection.
Whoa. He was always one for telling stories. So when he told me he had fallen in love with
Yo, her dad banged a mermaid.
it's just another whopper.
Get it, man. Oh, my lord. Is this Shark Tale? This is turning into Shark Tale. Wait, oh, no. Sephora.
Do you have anything in the
I swear to God. This is just Shark Tale. I'm telling you.
I just hate the pufferots.
What the hell is going on? Okay, finished a mermaid tale. I'm not impressed, honestly. I feel bad. I liked the family dynamic that Merlia had, being raised by her grandfather. You know, her parents aren't in the picture. We don't get to see that often. Well, I say we don't get to see that often. Like, we don't really see grandparents really involved in the Barbie movies, if that makes sense. I was gonna say, like, oh yeah, well, you know, the parents aren't in the picture, that's new. And then I was like, oh wait, no it's not. There's always, like, one parent dead in every one of these movies, I swear. Songs were catchy. They weren't the best, but they were catchy. They're earworms, that's for sure. I think that's all the good I have to say about this movie. I feel bad. Because, like, I really wanted to like this movie, okay? Like, I wanted to like it, but... Okay, okay. First off, first of all, the villain is not intimidating at all. Granted, I know a lot of these Barbie movies aren't, you know, the villains aren't supposed to be intimidating, that sort of a thing. But at least in the other movies, at least, you know, the subjects or whoever, like, everybody seems scared of the villain. Like, they are menaced. I guess that's the
correct term. Like, they're menaced by the villain. Here, it's just like, oh yeah, they're roasting her, which is funny, but also like, am I supposed to take her seriously? Everybody else is roasting the crap out of her. What am I supposed to do? The design of the Oceana, is that? Yeah, Oceana. It's so lazy. I can't. Like, it's so freaking lazy. Like, Mermaidia, this is not. Like, we don't got any of the cool colors going on there. It's just like, oh, pink, purple, blue, and then maybe some orange thrown in. I remember there being more color in Mermaidia, but maybe that's because, like, Mermaidia, that was kind of outstretched to the entire ocean, and here it just seems like a sub-community. I don't know. Oh boy. Okay, here's the thing. I like the surfing bit. I like that Merlia was a surfer. And I liked her friends. I believe the girl's name is like Fallon, the one who was like roasting Merlia. Like, she's cool. I like her. I don't know. Like, maybe it's just because I don't know. But I did kind of find the surf talk kind of annoying, like sort of the lingo. Granted, maybe that's just because I'm obviously, I don't live in that part of the country. It's not something I'm super familiar with outside of TV and stuff. Also, does anyone remember Stoked? Like, that Total Drama Island, like, ripoff about surfing that used to air on Cartoon Network in, like, 2009? I just remembered that. I just thought I'd bring it up, because I hear no one bring it up otherwise. Anyway, I like the whole surfing angle of it. I thought that was cool. I thought some of the shots were well done in the movie. I thought they were well animated for like the surfing and whatnot. And I thought it could have been like a cool sort of thing for this movie. Like, oh, maybe it's like a surf competition, but oh, she's a mermaid or something like that. Kind of have that sort of advantage. But no, it doesn't go there. Which would have been maybe a predictable plot. But at least it wouldn't have been another quest. Because yes, this movie is another quest. Oh, they gotta find the stuff. I'm getting really sick of quest movies in this franchise. Like, how many movies have we got so far where it's like, oh no, we gotta find the thing or else the villain's gonna, oh no, like, it's gonna take over, ooh. Like, I don't know. It's like, now that I think about it, there's so many of these. It never really occurred to me until I started watching these back that it's like, okay, whoa. They find things a lot in these movies. It's crazy. I'm starting to get sick of the whole quest thing. I hope that there won't be too many of those. Please. I have a feeling the video game movie, that's going to be a quest movie. I can tell you, I'm calling it right now. I'm getting really sick of those movies. I can't. I'm getting really sick of that plot of, oh no, we gotta find the things or else the villain's gonna take over. Oh no, like, come on, Mattel, you can do better than this. Come on. Anyway, in conclusion, what do I give this movie? I give it a 4, maybe a 5. I don't want to be too mean, but at the same time, I don't want to be too nice either. Like, it wasn't horrible, but at the same time, it wasn't good either. But it wasn't meh either. I don't know. I'll give it a 4. Like, I don't know. I got bored, and I wish the two, like, British mermaids, I wish they had more personality to them, but no. Hopefully they'll do better in the sequel. Because, yeah, for some reason, this movie has a sequel. Like, okay. Oh, my lord. What the... I know that this is, like, fake movie, but still, I still can't believe the absurdity. Also, can we talk about... Okay, this is what I was talking about in some of the earlier parts of this behemoth of a video. Okay, here's the thing. So, in this movie, we find out that Barbie has been an actress like this whole time. So basically I can only assume in, I guess, the movies where she doesn't have those little moments with like Kelly or something like beforehand, or even, I don't know, like all the movies, or at least most of them, those aren't a Barbie. Those are Barbie, that's Barbie as an actress playing those characters. And that blew my mind as a kid because I never really thought about it that way. And it's not really the first thing that comes to my mind until rewatching these, and I was like, oh yeah, she's like confirmed like in canon an actress, like in the real Barbie universe, which this is supposed to take place in. So I don't know, just an interesting thing. It makes things make so much more sense, at least to me.
From the top, everyone! This'll be the one we print! I can feel it!
Oh my god.
Wait, just 1 second, please.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Does Barbie have a new voice actress for this movie? I knew that they eventually replaced her in the later movies, but I didn't think it would be this soon. Hold up, let me look this up. Update. I was right. It's not Kelly. It's not Kelly Sheridan. It's actually Diana Karina? Is that how you say it? I don't want to mispronounce it by accident. If I did, then that's my bad. Anyway, interesting. Hasn't she voiced Barbie in like one of these movies before? Or like something? I don't know, because her voice seems familiar, but I can't quite place it.
Wild.
Wow, Ken's actually in this movie as himself. That's a first.
Come on.
I'm breaking up with you.
Oh, they're doing this. It's 2004 all over again.
Are you serious? When you're not actually with me.
Fine. Just promise me you won't play it over the PA system at school.
I'm sorry, they're supposed to be in high school? I thought they were older than this in this movie, but apparently not? Wow.
Paris, France?
Okay, no, Paris, Texas. Although, that'd be a totally different movie. If Barbie was in Paris, Texas, oh my lord. Barbie in a cowboy hat. We stan. Okay, first of all, is that a Jack Russell Terrier? I always thought he was a Jack Russell Terrier when I was a kid, but I've never had, like, confirmation. If so, awesome. Jack Russells are red. Number 2, why are his eyebrows like that? Why does he have eyebrows? Dogs don't have eyebrows, at least like that. Why are they so thick? Why are they like this? I'm very confused. Eyebrows.
Ma chérie, I apologize. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Jacques Rousseau.
Oh my god, I was right.
Old French castle, and it was filled with sea. There's no writing anywhere. Wait a minute. When I did The Three Musketeers, we shot in this old French castle, and
I love the references. Like, that's really cool for a callback.
Maybe the writing.
Yeet. What? I'm sorry, there are fairies in this movie? Man, I somehow falsely believed that this was a movie grounded in reality. I was so wrong. Fashion fairy tale. Done. Oh boy. That was, Also, forgive the lighting. I was watching this on my laptop, so that explains the lighting. Anyway, this movie, yeah, okay. First of all, I like the references to some of the previous Barbie movies, for starters. Number 2, is there a Barbie cinematic universe? Because this movie kind of put that theory into my head when I saw it when I was about 9, and it hasn't left. So to me, there is a Barbie cinematic universe. What are your guys' thoughts? I'm not expecting you guys to answer the question, but anyway, actually has a role in this movie. It's not a big role, granted, but I thought what he did at the end of the movie was sweet, and what he was going through the whole movie, like, just to get to Barbie, like, that was sweet. Although he took like a couple days, like maybe a week at most, to get to Paris, while that director guy at the end, he was there in like 2 hours.
or something. Like, he got there super fast. Like, how in the world? Okay, but also, does anyone else find all the glitter in this movie to be a little bit too much? And I know that's weird, especially, you know, considering the theme of the movie and what I'm currently wearing on my head. But I don't know, just the way that they animate it, it's too much. Like, too much lens flare, too much glitter. I cannot stand it on the eyes. It's just a lot. It made my eyes kind of strain, not gonna lie. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this movie, really. Elise, I liked her character. I liked her design. She kind of looked like Tina Fey, like a tiny bit, and I'm here for it. Like, I don't know. I liked her character. The villain's henchman reminds me of freaking Sabrina from Miraculous Ladybug. The crossover that no one needs. I mean, they both take place in Paris, like, why not? I don't know, I feel like they could have done more with the Paris setting, but they really didn't take advantage of it or anything. It just, you know, I don't know. I also liked Aunt Millicent as a character, too. Like, she didn't have too much time on screen, but I like that she was, like, a fun... She was, like, you could clearly tell, she was like, oh yeah, she's, like, a fun person to be around, you know? She's picking up all these hobbies, which didn't really make me laugh too much when I feel like they probably should have, but, I mean, you know, I don't know. Also, I think the name of Aunt Millicent, that's supposed to be a reference to Barbie's middle name, because if you guys don't know, fun fact, Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts, so maybe that's a play on that, maybe? Which, if so, cool. I like the references in this movie. The new voice actress for Barbie, who I'm assuming does the voice for, like, this movie onwards, I actually, you know, I don't mind her voicing Barbie. I think she does a good job. Like, I really have no problems with her, of course. I don't know. I just feel like this movie is just everything you thought Barbie was, like, in terms of the stereotype. Oh yeah, she's all about fashion. Like, it's all pink. She doesn't do anything. Like, that's just what this movie is. But at the same time, I don't think there was anything besides the Flaries, just the name alone, that really annoyed me. So, I don't know. I like the idea of Barbie falling from grace. I thought that could be interesting, especially because of the way the doll line has been going for the past several years. Ooh, yeesh. I don't know. I would like to see more behind-the-scenes Barbie, but at the same time, I don't know. They can just never do it right. I don't know. They can never make it absurdly interesting. Then again, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. What do I give this movie? It's not horrible, but it's not great either. Like, I gotta give it a 5 out of 10. I don't have, like, too much to say about this movie. It is just a meh movie for me. You know, like, will I watch it again? Probably not, but I can't say that anything is horrible or putrid in it or anything. Like, I don't know. I don't have much to say on this one, guys.
It went from a cat fight to Ken getting kidnapped.
We're going to get married. What?
Okay, I'm 10 minutes in, or roughly about 10 minutes in, and this has already went straight off the rails into the ocean. That's how far this has already went off.
Handbook. Never can tell when you
This bit has been going on for 2 minutes. Movie, you're stalling. I'm sorry. Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Movie, you're pushing your luck.
door Graciela couldn't lock. The personal portal of Liliana Roxelle. Liliana Roxelle, the famous fashion editor? I know her.
Okay, so this is the same continuity as Fashion Fairy Tale. Okay, somehow magical fairies without wings that can, like, spruce up dresses don't really faze her that much. And yet, these fairies with actual wings and such do. Like, sis, you shouldn't be shocked. Like, you should just take this as a nonchalant thing. Raquel, I can understand. But you, Barbie, no, you should just be pretty nonchalant about most of this, except for the fact that your boyfriend got kidnapped. But besides that, like, you should be not very shocked at all of this. Huh, Barbie? Not very not keeping with continuity much, are ya?
With you part, I actually don't mind it.
Raquel is gay for Barbie. Let it be known, people.
Stand. What happened? Remember at Wings and Things, Graylin said his and Rena's love is stronger than a passion fairy's anger.
Wait a minute.
Your forgiveness
Bruh.
is stronger than her anger too.
Mattel, I see what you're doing. I see what's going on.
Freedom of wings. After all, you might wake up in the morning and think this was all a dream.
They're not. They're not gonna pull that it was all a dream ending on us, are they?
This has been the most
Don't tell me.
incredible experience.
What? Oh, come on! Movie, no! Why'd you have to do that? Okay, now I'm mad.
Oopsie. Guess old habits die hard. Girlfriend.
Bruh. They know what they're doing.
Okay, Fairy Secret, cross off the list. Oh boy. That one, I was surprised at the continuity between that and Fashion Fairy Tale. That I was not expecting at all. Number 2, the animation isn't bothering me as much anymore. Or, well, the animation, or by, I guess the animation, I mean the designs of the characters aren't bothering me as much as they used to. It's all good now. I think I'm used to it. Third thing, Ken was the real MVP in this movie. He was the best. He was the best in this movie. He had some pretty funny lines in there, not gonna lie. Also, I liked that Raquel got more screen time. Like, yeah, I don't like her, at least at first, but I mean, they gave her, like, some backstory between the relationship between her and Barbie, and they actually became friends at the end, and I think that's really nice, actually, that they kind of settled the feud that was built up from, like, the last movie, or even longer, because I don't know the full history of Raquel in doll form or other Barbie-related media. But anyway, I like that they had that resolved and that they actually talked it out and stuff. That was nice. Again, when Barbie does friendship right, they really do it right. I'm just saying. A lot of this movie felt really jarring. Like, as I said, like, before, like, this movie it's like whiplash. This movie gave me total whiplash. It's like, oh yeah, Barbie and Ken eating, and then all of a sudden, oh no, fairies out of nowhere with, like, practically very little build-up. Like, if this was like a normal Barbie movie, then the fairies probably wouldn't have shown up until a little bit more build-up was made, like maybe like 15, like 20 minutes in, maybe 25. I don't know, but again, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but the pacing in this movie felt really rushed. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't really have much to say about Carrie and Taylor. I think that was their names. Barbie's assistants. Although, one thing I am surprised about is that Barbie is shocked by a lot of this. Like, okay, since this is connected to Fashion Fairy Tale, she's seen fairies before. Granted, the fairies are different than these fairies by a long shot. The fairies are smaller, they don't have wings, and they can just, design and spruce up dresses and stuff. And these are, like, more, I guess, generic fairies? That sort of feel. But, I don't know, I feel like, any fairy contact, I mean, sure, she got her boyfriend stolen, but at the same time, it's like, you shouldn't be as shocked. If anything, you're like, oh no, Ken's kidnapped, what are we gonna do? And Raquel should have been like, you do realize there are fairies here, right? And she's like, yeah, I've dealt with similar things before. It really doesn't shock me at this point. More importantly, my boyfriend's kidnapped. So that's a whole thing. I don't know. They never mentioned that either. And yet, somehow, like, did the Fashion Fairy Tale connection need to be there? No. But it was, which was I don't know. That's a weird little interesting tidbit, I guess. Because also the fashion critic at like the end of the movie, at the end of Fashion Fairy Tale, she was a fairy this whole time, and they gave a little bit more backstory to her, and I was like, did they need to give her more backstory? No, but it's here anyway, I guess. I don't know. I'm starting to get really sick of these fairy movies in particular. The princess movies I can maybe deal with, but the fairy movies, I don't know. Maybe it's just because, like, I don't know. Like, they just had a bunch of fairy movies kind of almost in back-to-back, and now it's really, like, I don't know. Again, Barbie movies run through similar themes. It's either princesses, fairies, or mermaids. Although there have only been like 2, maybe 3 mermaid movies, if you really count. Well, Mermaidia is a mermaid movie. What am I saying? And I know that obviously there was a Mermaid Tale last movie, and then there's the sequel, which is not on Netflix, and that makes me sad because that means I have to find it on my own. This movie kind of just encapsulates. It's one of the Barbie movies that really encapsulates the stereotype of what Barbie is, which a lot of these movies have subverted in some way, shape, or form. You know, at least some of them have, at the very least. This movie, no. Like, it just doesn't. The past couple movies have just been feeding into that stereotype of, oh, Barbie, pink all the time, fashion. And I'm not saying that those are bad things. It's just the stereotype that she's brought upon herself, I guess. I don't know. This movie just kind of seems like, I don't know how to explain this. Obviously, there are people who could probably explain this way better than me. But, I don't know. This movie, it's just everything you think of, like, when you think of Barbie movie is what you get in this one. The best part of this movie is Barbie and Raquel, and they're like grown towards friendship. Like, that's cool. Also, was I the only one getting like shippy vibes from Barbie and Raquel? Just saying. I mean, yo, Mattel, if that's what you're doing on the DL, on the subtext, cool. Cool, here for it. You know what? I give this movie 4 out of 10. Okay, just finished Princess Charm School for a second time this year because I saw it back in, I think, April, which kind of inspired me to do this whole thing because I was like, are all of the, like, what are the modern Barbie movies like? Because luckily this one's on Netflix. I recommend, spoilers. But yeah, I like this movie. I liked it especially when you consider some of the other, like, modern movies of the 2010s that Barbie has made, at least so far. I don't know, this one's like the best one out of those, I think. Okay, stuff I liked about this movie. I liked Blair as a character. I liked her backstory. I'm trying not to give anything away. Should I do spoilers? The movie's been out for like 8 years. Like, if you haven't seen it already, go watch it. It's good. Anyway, I like Blair as a character. I like her backstory. I like the fact that she is adopted. I like that. And that her sister is adopted too. I wasn't expecting that one. Her mom is sick too, and I'm like, first of all, don't do this to me, movie. I legit thought the mom was gonna like die midway through when I was first watching it. It was wild. It was a wild time. Delancey as a character, Delancey reminds me of Chloe from Miraculous Ladybug. If you guys have seen the movie, if you guys are a fan of Miraculous like I am, like, you guys see it, right? Like, I'm not the only one who sees it. The side characters, I didn't really feel much for the side characters because they weren't really that memorable. But then again, the story is mainly focused on Blair, and I guess you could say Delancey and the whole drama going on. Because yes, there is another murder mystery in this movie. Well, kind of murder mystery, a little bit. The characters died way before the story starts. But you know what I mean. There is murder involved. How does Blair live in the kingdom and does not know that the previous king and queen died. Like how, like she's been living there her whole life, and it's not like she's from like another kingdom or something. Sure, she's from like a more, well, not more city-ish area. Well, she is, but like she's in the same kingdom that they ruled on, is what I'm saying. And like she doesn't know about the legend. Like I would imagine that if like I lived someplace like that, and like yeah, like the previous like king and queen died like in a car crash, like a mysterious car crash, and be like, huh, you know, that's something that would get mentioned to me. I'm just saying. The song that I love a good montage, and like the song that they have in the montage, that's a bop, like high key. One thing I don't get about this movie, why are fairies involved? I'm getting really sick of fairies in these movies. I'm getting really sick of them. I know I have another Mariposa movie, but maybe Mariposa can make it good, like the character. I don't know. Another thing I noticed, Barbie does shy main characters or kind of introverted characters pretty well, all things considered. Is it like the best portrayal? No, but I just mean, I guess, the personality type. I don't know. Which, like, I don't know. It's just interesting to see Barbie be in a role like that, where you would figure that she'd be all like, ooh, confident and whatnot. Like, it's interesting to see her be closer to a normal human being than what society perpetuates about her. I don't know. Like, this movie's just good. I don't know. I don't think it has as much emotion as, say, Island Princess, but it has some stuff in there that really, like, I don't know, like, really makes you go, Especially with Delancey. I really like Delancey. I've also noticed that Nicole Oliver, like, voices in these movies a lot. Like, legit. She'd be making bang from these movies, or I hope she is, on top of her paychecks from MLP. But then again, I don't know how much that is because of how rarely Celestia really appears if you really think about it. But that's a story for another day. Anyway, yeah, I don't have much to say about this movie. You notice that I have no commentary on this, probably because I've seen this before. Like, I literally saw it like 3 months ago. Like, I know the story pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a good movie. When I first saw it, I gave it a 7 out of 10. But like, in comparison to the other, like some of the other movies I've had to watch in the past few, I gave it an 8. Like, it's better than those movies. Like, I don't know. I just give it an 8. It's a good movie. It's on Netflix. Watch it. But the clap of my snow boots keeps alerting the squirrels. Barbie Perfect Christmas. Me no likey. That was really bad, folks. It was so bad that, like, I stopped last night because I'm filming this section and the last one, like, the day after the first section that I filmed of this, because like I couldn't get through the last like 25 minutes or so last night. I just couldn't. I stopped. I got bored. This movie is boring. It's boring. It's sappy. Like, I like seeing Barbie's sisters. You know, I like that they're mentioned. I like that that's kind of part of the Barbie lore, quote unquote. But, oh dear Lord, Stacy and Chelsea, what happened to Kelly? Is Stacy and Chelsea supposed to be like two, like, was Kelly the amalgamation of those two before they split off into separate characters? Because now it's just, I don't know. Like, Skipper's voice actress for the singing, because I think hers sounded different too, although she didn't, I don't know, it was less noticeable than Barbie's, if, you know, I don't know. But Skipper's voice, especially at the end song, or not the end song, but I guess the 11 o'clock number, I guess. I guess you could call it if I'm putting it in Broadway terms. The one that she sings at the barn concert, whatever they were putting on. It sounded like a girl in high school with no singing experience who says, hey, I sound just like like Hayley Williams from Paramore. And then she starts singing it and you realize, oh no, she really doesn't sound like Hayley Williams from Paramore. To have this sort of like, oh, Santa's real plot? Oh, but is he? They do it in a really weird way. Like, it's like, oh no, like Santa's implied to be the woman who runs the little the place that they stay at. Like, she's supposed to be like Santa's niece or something. It's really weird. Songs were not well written at all. Like, the singing was bad and the lyrics are bad. The one song that the girl sings, the girl who owns the place, Santa's niece, that's just what I'm gonna keep calling her, Santa's niece, because I don't remember her name. Like, she sings this one song from, like, I don't know, towards the beginning of the movie, whenever she's introduced, and my lord, is it repetitive. It's something like, ooh, we send the gifts. Ooh, we send the gifts. I don't remember what the song sounds like, because it's been a day. It's been 24 hours since I saw that part, and it's already left my mind. But I remember it is very repetitive, and it goes on forever. Like, it is, man, that's like 4 minutes out of the movie. It might not even be that long, but it feels like 5 hours have passed by the time the song's over. So, Barbie's looks aren't even good in this movie. Let me tell you, in the end scene of this movie, they're like all around this like big old Christmas tree outside the barn or whatever, and they're singing Deck the Halls, a really terrible version of Deck the Halls. And like, they're all wearing these outfits. Skipper is wearing like short like leggings that are up to maybe like, I don't know, about like above her knee, and like a short skirt, and I think maybe a tank top, like a little short jacket over it. Sis, that's not an outfit for Minnesota in like a winter storm, in like a severe winter climate. That is not it at all. Like, for starters, the other two little sisters are fine. Barbie's dress is so ugly. And I hate saying that, because usually her fashions, even if I don't like the movie, like, they're on point, or like they're just decent. This one is not. This is one of the worst looks she's had in these movies that I can think of. It's not boring, but it is very, and I'm not gonna say that it's bad for practicality reasons. It is, but that's not one of the reasons why I dislike it. It just looks bad. That's just plain and simple. Straight up, it just looks bad. She's like wearing this like floor-length dress. It has like no straps, no sleeves on it, whatever. It's bright pink, and it has like candy cane stripes on it in this really like, in this ruffly part at the bottom, and it looks really tacky. It looks like a Christmassy version of a prom dress that someone wore in 1986. And here we are. Oh man, I think one of the other girls' outfits is really bad looking too. It's like, I think it's Stacy. Yeah, Stacy, like the second youngest. Like, I am honest to God thinking she wears Crocs in this scene, because it doesn't look like she's wearing boots or anything, or like normal shoes. It looks like she's wearing Crocs, but without holes, if that makes sense. It's just boat shoes, I don't know. But like her outfit, it's like pink and like a short dress, and it has like peppermints on it, but really badly implemented. It's like, I know it's a Barbie movie, but can't you just use Christmassy colors? At least Barbie Christmas Carol had the audacity to use Christmassy colors instead of, oh, here's Christmas designs on ugly pink dresses. Like, I don't know. Anyway, like, okay, the one redeeming factor about this movie, the animation also looks bad. Let me tell you that. Like, ugh, I'm really starting to notice it in this new style, how bad the animation looks. At least in this movie, I don't know. But I think it's on a movie-by-movie basis. Like, for something like this, it just looks really bad, and you know it. The one redeeming quality I think I can think of about this movie is maybe Skipper and her little side plot of, feeling inferior to Barbie, which makes sense, because Barbie, and, her clout in these movies. But like, I don't know. And even then, I didn't like her character that much. I wish that this could have been like the main thing of the movie, but it really isn't. It is a side plot that they fix up in like 30 seconds, and then, oh, it's all good, but oh no, we gotta find Chelsea, we gotta find the little one. I don't know. I wish more attention had been given on that or something, and just not, I don't know, I don't know. Cause I don't know, even then I wish they had more character. I wish there was more to this movie, but it's bad. It's bad, guys. Not even the spirit of Christmas could save it. Speaking of which, they say Perfect Christmas so many times in this movie. I heard it maybe like 12 times in the span of this movie, maybe even more, but I heard it a lot, and it really got on your nerves, and I'm like, if they say Perfect Christmas one more time, I am going to jump out the window. I know it's the title of the movie, but like, come on. You don't have to repeat it. Like, oh no, a Christmas. How can it be the perfect Christmas if we can't get to the point? So exasperated with this movie. It's like, it isn't rage-inducing. Which, I'm making it sound like it is rage-inducing just by the way I've talked about it, but it's not. It's just boring. It is bland. Like, if you want a Christmas movie with the Barbie characters in it, but you don't want any substance, you just want something to put on for your kid at Christmas time while you're, getting drunk off eggnog or something, whatever, put this on. It'll maybe keep your kid entertained. My God, it didn't keep me entertained, and I'm very easily entertained, let me tell you, apparently. But this wasn't it. So, what do I give this movie? I give it a 3. I give it a 3 because, I don't know, Skipper had the one redeeming quality about this movie. And even then, I wish, again, one of these things about some of these movies, I wish that they had more, they have potential to really build on a story there, but they don't. And it really, I don't know, because I don't think it's as bad as like a 1 or a 2 or something. I don't know. But 3 is pretty dang bad. So I'm just going to keep it at a 3. Should I put this at a 2? This movie really pissed me off. You know what? Screw it. I'm putting this movie at a 2. Because the thing about these movies is that I keep changing the scores on the latest ones because I have nothing to say about them. They're bad, but they're mediocre bad. They're bad, but they're not rage-inducing. I'm putting it back to 3. I'm having a real dilemma with these movies because they're just so boring. Oh, man. Also, we have a Mermaid Tale 2 next. Oh, joy. Okay, Mermaid Tale 2, done. I actually like that a lot better than the first one. It's not as annoying as the first one, because the first one, it had the song that was really repetitive, the Queen of the Wave songs. That song got on my nerves after a while. This movie also didn't have the annoying British mermaids who were Merlia's sidekicks, I guess you could call them. I don't know. It didn't have the annoying puns. The villain is actually a bit more intimidating than she was last time. Anyway, I don't know. I like the rivalry in this movie between Merlia and I'm just gonna call her Ashley Ball because I don't know. That's what I kept calling her throughout the movie. Anyway, I don't know, because I think I said in the segment for the first movie that it would have been a better plot if, maybe they used the surfing competition as, sort of as part of the plot, But they did in this movie, and that's cool. See, I felt way more invested into this movie than the first one because it wasn't annoying. It didn't have the annoying side characters, unless you count Merlia's friends annoying, which I really don't. They don't have that much screen time, not enough to really annoy me. And they didn't have the obnoxious puns, which is great. because there were so many of them out of nowhere in the first movie. It's like, okay, I'm getting whiplash from all of these puns in the movie. But yeah, I don't know, like this movie, it's a lot better. It's a lot better than the first one in terms of quality. You know? I don't know. I'll give it, I can't remember what I gave the last one, but I think it was lower than a 5. This one, I'll give it a solid 6, I think. I didn't have to watch it in 2 sittings, which is good. That is a seal of quality. Is it the best one? No, not at all. But it's better than I thought it would be for a sequel to a movie that wasn't that good in the first place. Anyway, on to Princess and the Popstar, which I'm really worried about because I've heard that this is a remake or a retelling or something of Princess and the Pauper. No. I'm sorry, is this a parody of Girls Just Want to Have Fun? Oh, it is. The music is the same music as, like, the song To Be a Princess from the first one. Like, I'm here for the reference. I'm here for it. They're doing the song, like, word for word. I wasn't expecting them to take the reference this far to the point of reusing songs with different vocals, but whatever. Okay, who is that? It's gotten to the point where I can't tell if it's CGI or an actual human. It looks so much different. I literally cannot tell. Like, my senses, my eyeballs are having a field day right now because there's no way, like, that's gotta be a real person. Who is that? Is that a real person? Is it CGI? Is it face-tuned? I don't know. Because it looks so much different than Kira on the side over here. I'm so confused. Princess and the Popstar. Done. I had a lot of fun watching the movie. Because, okay, here's the thing, though. Did it need to exist? Heck no. Like, did they really feel like, ooh, you know what? We already struck movie gold with the first Princess and the Pauper movie. Let's remake that 8 years later, but shallow. Anyway, this movie didn't need to exist. Because, okay, from, like, a plot standpoint, it's not Princess and the Pauper. It's Princess and the Popstar. The pop star, and that's where the problem lies for me story-wise. Because, okay, Princess and the Pauper, what do you have? You have someone from high society and someone from low society. They switch lives, see what it's like to be in the other shoes, and realizes that, oh, it's not all fun and games to be like a poor person. Or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, and vice versa. This movie, however, Princess and Popstar, they're both incredibly rich, like incredibly well respected, honored, I guess. Like, I don't know, they come from very similar worlds, and the whole different world viewpoint, it doesn't really work if they're both, like, at least in this scenario, it doesn't really work if they're both members of high society, quote unquote. If you would count Popstars as high society, but I do, so, and this movie does as well. It's like, I don't know, they had the heart taken out of the story as well, because you actually feel emotions when you watch Princess and the Pauper. At least I do. Princess and the Popstar, you do not. The diamond plant, like, why? That's not how geology works. That's not how plants work. Granted, I'm not an archaeologist or a geologist or whatever, but I know that that's not how it works. And I know that someone's going to say, oh, it's just fantasy. Like, suspend your disbelief. I've suspended my disbelief a lot for these movies, but sometimes I have to draw the line. Like, the diamond plant wasn't even that important to the story. Like, it didn't need to be there. Like, I don't understand. Okay. Also, Kira, the pop star, in the movie, at the beginning, she's kind of a butthole. She's kind of a butthole at the beginning, like, she's a major butthole. However, the movie, like, I don't know, like, maybe it, like, they kind of mention it, it's like, oh yeah, Kira's, like, a jerk, but she, like, I don't know, like, maybe if they had the princess try to be jerky Kira or something, try and fit her personality. Maybe it would have made it a bit more interesting. I don't know. Okay, let me talk about the songs. Let me talk about the songs for a minute. Because the songs are, I was expecting it to be a musical, because Princess and the Pop Star, of course it does. What I was not expecting, however, was for them to cover songs or tweak the lyrics a little bit in some cases, and it's like, oh, boom, here you go, here's your soundtrack. Okay, let's talk about this, like, a few highlights of the soundtrack, I guess. So the most notable examples. To Be a Princess, To Be a Princess remix. I don't know how I feel about it, because on one hand, they keep the melody, they keep the rhythm, I guess you could say, of the original, and they keep a lot of the lyrics of the original, which is good. Okay. And then they have the pop star lyrics, and you can clearly tell that the pop star lyrics are really lazily written. Like, there's this one part that goes, there's a camera, and a camera, another camera, another camera, and it keeps going. And I'm like, really? You couldn't add more words to that? You couldn't have made it more, like, you couldn't have made it better than that? Really? You had to fill a verse with, oh, there's a camera. Oh, there's a camera right there. Oh, and over there, boom, a camera. Like, you couldn't have added, really? You were that lazy? Okay. Okay, sister. I don't know. Also, the vocals, Barbie's vocals really weird me out. Like, I'm sorry. The singer is good. That's the thing. The singers are good, but the singer for Barbie does not fit Barbie's voice. Like, it doesn't fit her. Because you hear Barbie's speaking voice, and it's a little bit more higher pitched, and then when she's singing, it's like a little bit lower, and it really irks me. And I don't know why. I know it's a minor nitpick, and granted, you could probably put like most of what I say down as nitpicks for these movies, but I can't help it. It annoys me, and like, I don't know, like, it doesn't sound like Barbie at all. It's really weird. I'm talking very fast for this review. I don't know why. I just needed to get all my feelings out. Okay, so they have that song, which is probably the best song that they put on the soundtrack, simply because it is a rehash of To Be a Princess, but To Be a Princess is a banger. This is less of a banger, admittedly. Like, it's the best song on the soundtrack, but that ain't saying much, because the rest of the soundtrack ain't good. Then we have Princesses Just Want to Have Fun, because yeah, for some reason, they did a parody. They did a rewrite of Girls Just Want to Have Fun, a song that I already don't like. I'm sorry, Cyndi Lauper stans. I don't like Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I don't, why? It's so confusing. Why Girls Just Want to Have Fun? Why that song? I don't understand. It's more confusing than anything else. It's just, I don't know. The best part of this movie is, without a doubt, the villain, Kreider, I think his name is. First of all, he's kind of, I guess you could say this movie's Preminger, I guess. Because, like, I don't know, similar plans, I guess, except when the whole diamond plant comes into effect, it's like, really? Why? Like, maybe, is that supposed to be a substitute for the, like, diamond mine in the original movie? Like, what is the point? I've gone on enough about that plant. Back to Kreider. Kreider, for some reason, he has a really funny voice. He's the best part of this movie, hands down. I love hammy, over-the-top villains in these movies that I can actually, like, laugh at. Like, his voice alone, you get a good voice actor, and, like, you're set, pretty much. It doesn't matter if the character is written very terribly, just if funny inflections are happening, like, I don't know. Like, the voice actor really gave it his all. Like, I don't know. He was intense, but in, like, a funny way, and it was iconic. Kreider, similar plan to Preminger, at least at first. Like, he tried to get with the princess's aunt, I think it is. And it was weird, and there was some weird, low-key, like, sexual tension. It was really weird. Like, the aunt apparently, like, the aunt's a cougar in this movie. I guess she hadn't gotten any in, like, a long time, and then she was just like, I can deal with this, like, pop star manager who is a lot younger than me. It was really weird, and there was this weird sexual tension going on. Really weird, and it made me a bit uncomfortable. I don't know. But also, apparently, Kreider, like, his whole motivation is he wants to be a star because he apparently was, like, when he was a lot younger, I'm pretty sure it is a parody of the Mickey Mouse Club or something, or he was on something similar, and once he hit puberty, he became a has-been at, like, 14. And it just, I don't know, it also reminds me of Alvin and the Chipmunks a little bit, because the show is called, like, Chipper Chipmunk or something, and I was like, okay, I see what you did there. I don't know, but he's the best part of this movie, hands down. I would just have a whole movie just for, like, him alone, and that'd be iconic. Overall, I don't know, like, okay, also, this movie does not have the heart of the original at all. Like, again, as I said, like, you feel emotion in the original, you know what I mean? Like, you feel sad, you feel like you get to know these characters in, like, an hour, or however long like, hour and a half, however long the original movie is. In this movie, you barely get any character. You kind of get characterization that Kira is a jerk, and I kind of wish that we had gotten more of that, but we don't. I don't know. Like, I think they tried to maybe have some emotion of, like, oh, well, the kingdom went through a drought. Oh no, what are we gonna do? But that's barely sequential, because in the first movie, it'd be like, oh, well, one of our main characters is in poverty. Like, she literally, you know, we have that, like, connection all throughout the movie. Here, it's just, oh, these impoverished kids show up, like, 40, 50 minutes into the movie, we're supposed to care now. Like, man, I don't know. It does not have that much connection, and it's really inconsequential at the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, what do I give this movie? I give this movie, also, the dress physics in this movie, like when the characters are dancing in like the big like ball gown-esque dresses or something, the skirt movement is so weird and it looks off. Also, the skirts look like tinfoil. Like the shiny skirts, I guess, they look like tinfoil, they look metallic, and I don't think that was the intent. I don't know, maybe it's to make them look more like the dolls, who knows. But okay, so what do I give this movie? I give it a 2. Like, it wouldn't... The thing is, if they hadn't... It is a terrible remake, remaster... What would you call this? New adaptation? I don't know. It's a bad adaptation. It misses the point completely of the original. It's shallow, which kind of goes into the second reason. It's so bad. Literally the only thing that's keeping it from a 1 is the voice actor for the villain. Other than that, if the original didn't exist and it was just this, it might be a little bit higher, but the fact that they tried to ruin the first movie so bad, like they had lightning in a bottle the first time, and then 8 years later they were like, you know what this needs? This needs a shallow, modern Barbie makeover, and that's what we got. And it is, oh my god, it's so bad. Finished Barbie in the pink shoes. That was confusing. It was confusing, it was lazy, it was repetitive of some previous stories, but like condensed, like Swan Lake they put in, but just really the bare bones of it. And there was this weird crossover element with the Snow Queen and a ballet that I don't really know that well called Giselle. I don't know about that one too much, but then again, I don't know much about the Snow Queen either. I read it a really long time ago, but it was a while ago. I don't know, it just, the only good things about this movie were pretty much the motion capture dance scenes, and that's it. Like, it has nice music and good choreography, and that's all I can really say good about this movie. The characters got really annoying, especially the male characters. Like, the male characters were so dumb. I don't usually like the trope of, oh, someone from another time period doesn't know what modern slang is. Whoa. I don't really like that trope all too much. In some cases it can work, but I've just seen it so much. It just comes off as kind of cringy and awkward and just, Anyway, I don't have much to say about this movie. So I'll just give I'll give it a 3. Like, it just, the story was just a confusing mess, but the music and the dance scenes were good. And that's really all you need from this movie. Mariposa and the Fairy Princess, done. The Fairy Princess, Crystal Princess. I think it's just called the Fairy Princess. Anyway, that's over. I'm getting less and less reactions for these movies as they go on. I don't know why. I just haven't felt the need to for the past few. Still like Mariposa as a character. They actually expand on her role, because in the first movie she was just like the assistant, like a royal assistant or something, and here she's like an ambassador, diplomat sort of role, which I feel fits her really well, and her love of research and learning and books and stuff is still intact, thank God. So that's fun. That's nice to see, and her going over to another, I guess, race of fairies, I suppose, species, race, I don't know, another race of fairies, let's just say, is a really cool concept, and I do like the sort of message of like, yeah, don't judge, like don't make stuff up about people that isn't true before you get to know them, I guess, is the overall lesson. A lesson that I've seen many times, but you know, it's done all right here. The things that kind of didn't really do it for this movie for me was, let me think. The villain was really, she didn't do much, like, at all. Like, she was a really boring villain, and I don't remember much about her, except, like, she changes her appearance at the end. Spoiler. And then luckily, the two fairy twins from the first movie, they aren't in this, thank goodness. But instead, we get 2 little puffball sidekicks, I think is what they're called. I don't know, but they kind of got on my nerves, and like the little purple one that follows Mariposa around, who wasn't in the first one, by the way, as far as I can recall. She is generally the cause of some of the issues that make the king mad at Mariposa for no reason. Like, it's not Mariposa's fault, it's her stupid puffball that she brought around. Those 2 got on my nerves, but I don't know, I like the friendship between the princess and Mariposa. That was cool to see. I like the design of the Crystal Fairy city, I guess. Shimmervale. I like Shimmervale's design more than Mariposa's home design. I don't remember what the kingdom is called, my bad. I don't know, I just thought it was designed better. Also, for some reason, like, the whole Shimmervale being powered by the crystal, what's essentially like a crystal heart, like, that really gave off Crystal Empire vibes from, like, MLP, because they're both powered by, like, crystals. Crystals are really important, that's kind of their whole theme. You know, they both have princesses. It's a whole thing. Like, it gave off similar vibes, is what I'm saying. Actually, I think those were both released, like, the same year, like, now that I think about it, 2013, yeah, I think. No, I think Crystal Empire was like 2012, and then this was in 2013. So, did Barbie rip off MLP? Who knows? I certainly don't. But yeah, is there anything else to say about this movie? Not really. It's solid. It's solid enough. We don't get to see much of Carlos and Mariposa's friend from the first movie. We don't get to see much of them. They get like little sort of meanwhile segments, I guess, while Mariposa's doing her thing. It just sometimes randomly cuts back to Carlos and her friend just making sure the library is going smoothly, which, spoiler alert, it isn't. I felt like those parts of the movie could just have been cut out, but I mean, whatever, it's pretty inconsequential. I give this movie a... Okay, just finished Barbie and her sisters in a ponytail. I almost said fairy tale. Wrong movie. By a long shot. I I actually like this movie. I was expecting to come into the, you know, like, oh, Barbie and her sisters in a ponytail. That sounds like a YouTube video, not a movie. And there are a couple titles that sound like that in this sort of Barbie and her sisters series of movies. But this one, the first one so far in this little, I think it's a trilogy. I think there are 3 of them. There are at least 2, I know that for sure. But like, I actually, this movie wasn't too bad. I don't know, maybe because it, you know, it revolves around Barbie and her sisters, where her sisters aren't actually at each other's throats for once, and like, it's tolerable. Also, I think this is the first time that one of Barbie's sisters, what is her name? Stacy, is voiced by Claire Collette, I think is how I pronounce her name. And who voices Sweetie Belle on MLP. There are a ton of MLP voice actresses who do voices in this movie, because we got Claire Collette, we got Tabitha St. Germain as one of the characters, and I think we also have friggin' Sharon Chan Kent, is that her name? Yeah, who I think does the singing voice for Pinkie Pie, last I checked, but I could be wrong. Oh, Katsumi Evans is in this movie as well, who voiced Adagio in Rainbow Rocks, and also does the singing voice for Rarity. Man, there are a lot of, it's like a whole like mini reunion. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a reunion because back then the show was still running, and it's still running right now. I'm filming this in July 2019. It is going to end soon. I'm not ready for that, dog. But anyway, moving on. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know why I like this movie so much. It gave me like Horseland vibes. If anyone remembers Horseland, you're a real one. I don't know. And like, I liked Horseland back in the day. I like horses. I wasn't a horse girl back in the day, but like, you know, I don't know. Like, it's something different for the Barbie movies, because so far it's always just been princesses or fairies or mermaids, you know, with a few exceptions. But seriously, eventually that gets old, and I'm glad that they kind of been, that in the future movies they change it up a little, as far as I'm aware at least. But yeah, it's a nice change of pace. I like seeing Barbie and her sisters more. The voices weren't annoying. There actually weren't any really annoying characters in this movie. Like, I don't know. I thought Skipper and her little relationship with the guy with the snooty horse boy. I don't remember his name, but I thought that was cute. I think it's like, I just think it's a good movie. I don't know. Plus, it has the whole like kind of horse racing aspect, which I'm into, because fun fact about me and my family always watch the Triple Crown every year. That's always been a tradition since I was a kid. So, I don't know. It's fun to kind of relive that. Although, I have to dock some accuracy points for this movie. Not because there's a secret species of horse with pink in their hair. That's not it. It's that in the actual horse racing segment of the movie, the names are far more, they're less random than they are in actual horse races. Because if you look at actual horse races, they got some whack names up in there. Like, these names in this movie made far too much sense, so I'm gonna have to dock a few points. I'm kidding, I'm joking. I don't know, like, this movie actually pleasantly surprised me. You know what? I give it a 7. I give it a 7. There are some cliche bits here and there. I'm not too keen about the animation, and the story basically is like, oh, someone's got to tame this wild horse, but oh no, it's kind of like a little bit like Home on the Range, a bunch of those movies where it's like, oh no, I like to call it, I don't think there's an actual name for the trope, as far as I know, but I like to call it the save the rec center trope, you know, where characters like, oh no, we gotta win this competition to earn money to save the whatever, it's either a rec center, freaking park, like it's just anything that holds special significance to the characters, mostly a building or historical monument of some point. They're like, no, we gotta save it. Oh no, we're in debt. We gotta save it, like Home on the Range style. Oh my god. Barbie and her sisters in Home on the Range. They catch yodeling cowman boy. That's a movie. Anyway, 7 out of 10. Girl Princess, down. I've noticed a pattern in these movies, if you couldn't already tell. Like, I don't know. Listen, there's only so many times that you can do mermaid movies. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, doing them once or twice, I can understand. But doing like a bunch of them, because think about how many mermaid movies we've had in the Barbie franchise so far. I feel like, I don't know, there's only so many times you can do like a type of movie. Like the princess movies, like you can do stuff differently with that, you know? And I mean, for the most part, the Barbie princess movies have all been unique. Again, I say for the most part, you know. Anyway. Princess Pop Star. Sorry, had something in my throat. Anyway, I don't know. I just feel like the mermaid movies are just really repetitive. Like, I don't know, maybe because it's the environments just stop being creative looking. Because this one looks the same as the city in the Mermaid Tale movies. And I'm like, did they reuse stuff from that? It wouldn't shock me, and honestly, I can't blame them because they pumped out like 3 of these movies a year for a long time. So it's like I can understand them reusing assets, but I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying I understand why, but I'm still acknowledging that it's lazy if they did do that. I don't know. I might need a side-by-side comparison, but I'm too lazy to do that. We all know me. Like Barbie, who's being raised by her aunt, or sorry, well, her name's not Barbie in this movie. It's for all intents and purposes, let's call her Barbie. Anyway, Barbie's being raised by her aunt in this movie. And like, I don't know, the aunt, I guess, who's not really her aunt, like, the aunt gets hired by the king's, like, brother-in-law to murder the princess, which is Barbie, and also she gets hired to poison the king and queen so that way his son, like the guy's son, can be, you know, on the throne. Although I don't see why the guy just wouldn't, like, after all that's done, just kill his son so that way he could be on the throne. But I don't know. It's a whole, like, Ella Enchanted. Oh my god. Ella Enchanted. That's a good movie. This is, similar, but no, but not at all. I don't know, it threw me for a loop, because I don't think they really explained things at first. The whole, like, Barbie being secret princess thing, yeah, we get that. That's been a plot line forever in these movies. Like, oh no, Barbie's secret heritage, like, okay, been there, done that, sister. Like, yo, I don't know. I just feel like these movies are starting to get really repetitive. At least with the mermaid ones, I don't know. Maybe it's just the mermaid ones and the fairy ones that are starting to get on my nerves. The princess ones, I don't know why. Maybe it's because there's already a lot of stories with princesses that they've already based the movies off of. Like Princess and the Pauper and stuff like that. I don't know. But there's a lot more variety to be had in the princess movies. Whereas the fairy ones and the mermaid ones especially, I don't know. There's just this weird, like, I don't know. You can only do so much with mermaids. You know what I mean? Or at least the way they're doing it. You know what I want to see? I want to see a siren movie. I want to see Barbie lure some guy to their death. That's what I want to see. I'm kidding. No, but really, that'd be interesting. I don't know. Just like folklore mermaids. Just like some real inspiration up in here. But I know they're not going to do it. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's fatigue. Luckily, there's going to be no more mermaid movies after this. At least I hope not. Like, there are a few more princess movies that I think I need to get through. Like, 1 or 2 more. But aside from that, like, I don't know. It'd be nice to have a change of pace. Anyway, what did I like about this movie? I liked the character of Spike, the little venomous pufferfish? Am I right? Is that what he is? Pufferfish? I don't know. And I also like the little relationship between the villain's son, Fergus, I think his name was, who wanted to be a botanist, and one of Barbie's friends. I thought that was cute. And I like how Fergus stands up to his father at the end, and it's a whole thing, and everyone's like, yay, reunited. Like, that's nice. Also, there's this one scene in the movie where, like, I don't know, of course there's a fashion montage, because of course there is. Character? What's that? Montage? I love myself a good montage, but jeez. Sometimes it doesn't need, I don't know. But I guess it beats like a 5-minute, 10-minute scene of them like, oh no, what are we gonna wear to the ball? You know, that sort of old gambit. I don't know. I just feel like there's only so much you can do in terms of design with mermaids. You know what I mean? That Barbie has already done and done better. Like Mermaidia, again, I will stand, is like the best one out of all these mermaid movies because it's the first one they did. Everything looks pretty good. There's no need for like over-the-top fashionable scenes, you know, to sell dolls, which I know is the main point of these movies. But still, I don't know. It just, the concept was done better. I don't know. We've seen the whole, oh, Barbie's a secret princess plot. We've seen that in like a fair amount of these movies where, oh no, Barbie is secretly royalty. Oh, but she doesn't know it, but we, the audience, know something's up. Like some tea is about to be spilled. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like, I wonder which comes first. I wonder if the dolls come first in the movies, because the dolls in the movies are released simultaneously, as far as I know. But I mean in terms of production, because I know that like these movies, they probably take like a little while, I'd say, maybe about at least a year before the dolls themselves are released, I'm imagining. The dolls themselves, I don't know how long it takes to produce those, to like get the concept, get the idea, and all of that. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like they could have done better. You know what I mean? This movie is just, I don't know. It's on the lower side of meh to me. Like there's nothing really annoying about it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, there's nothing really great in here either. There's like a few side characters that I tolerate and everything, but honestly, there's not much substance to this movie, and I feel bad. I feel bad by saying that, but I mean, there's only so much you can do with the mermaid properties, Mattel. Seriously, just chill out. Anyway, I give this movie a 4. Like, there's nothing really offensive or, annoying about it, but it really isn't memorable. Like, it's just not, And that's a problem I've been seeing with these more recent movies, is they're not memorable. You know what I mean? It's not the first time that Barbie's done a mermaid movie. And it certainly, like, I don't know. There's nothing interesting about it. It just, I don't know. I realize that these little review parts of the video are gonna make it really long unless I cut a lot of stuff out, which I'm going to. So I'm gonna just do rapid fire. Secret Door, finished. 3 out of 10. It's boring, nonsensical, doesn't look good. The villain is a Darla Dimple ripoff, but like bad and like really doesn't. They could have done the whole Darla Dimple angle so much better. Maybe the CGI was making it lack, but I don't know. It just, the only thing, oh, and the song sucked. The only things that are holding this movie back from being lower is I like Barbie's character in this. I'm always a sucker for the shy Barbie characters, apparently. Gee, I wonder why. It also had Tabitha St. Germain, who's trying her hardest, but the character just does not hit the mark for me, but her voice acting is good. And of course we have Ashley Ball, and Ashley Ball singing, which is always great, except it's only for a few lines. What the heck, movie? Give Ashley Ball more to do. Okay, thoughts on Princess Power. Honestly, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let me get the cons out of the way first. First of all, Super Sparkle, bad superhero name. Dark Sparkle is just an echo fighter of Super Sparkle. I'm sorry, but it's true. And I'm pretty sure they acknowledged this in the movie. 3, the costumes, I don't know, I was expecting a little bit more dynamic costumes, I guess. I don't know, like stuff that actually looked better. I don't know. You figured it would look better, but it doesn't. Also, the hair looks weird in this movie. The hair is like textured weird or something. I don't know. It's like, it kind of looks like Alpha CC in The Sims 4. But like on otherwise totally Maxis Sims. It looks weird. No shade to Alpha CC, but I don't use it, man. But you do you, boo, if you do. Anyway, it's dedicated to a very niche audience. But anyway, I feel like the whole her being a princess thing, like they could have cut the whole being a princess thing out of it and it would have worked otherwise. Like, I don't know, just the whole princess thing just kind of seems like, I don't know. I just, you know, it makes it a little bit weird. Otherwise, like, also the animation is pretty bad. But, I mean, other than that, like, honestly, I like the story. I like the character of Kara. I like that she gets her powers similar to how Spider-Man got his. Very similar. And they actually make a reference to Spider-Man in the movie, so that's fun. I don't know. I don't know. I like the whole family rivalry going on between Kara and I think her cousin? Yeah, her cousin. I don't remember her name. Dark Sparkle. That's what I remember her name as. But yeah, like that's a you know, I like their whole dynamic. I actually side with the parents on most of the movie because like they're like, I don't know, I like how Kara is like, I don't know, like she feels totally overprotected as a princess, makes sense. But when she becomes a superhero and hears how like proud her parents are of the hero, it's like, oh man, that makes me feel really good, you know, because they wouldn't let her do stuff otherwise. I don't know, I like that little part of the plot. I actually like that people eventually found out her secret identity. Like there wasn't the whole thing of like, oh no, we gotta go back and forth between the big banquet and the villain job, you know. Oh no, like before my parents find out. Oh no, like I'm glad that they actually find out like a good chunk of the way into the movie and not be totally oblivious to what was going on, which was good. I don't know, like. I don't know. I just thought the story was nice. I liked how she and her cousin like teamed up at the end to take care of the bad guy. Speaking of the bad guy, he was really weak. Like it was another guy trying to take hold of the crown. And like, I don't know, how many times have we seen that in a Barbie movie? A lot, that's for sure. I don't know, but like I don't know. Like he isn't typical supervillain either. He isn't using really supervillainy tactics. Like he's more like weird sorcerer guy in the catacombs of the castle. I'm like, okay, like why not go like full supervillain? Why are you going more like warlock vibes? It's weird. Anyway, this movie not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I don't know, maybe because it was something different. I don't know, but I give it a 5 out of 10. Rock and Royal's done. Actually, that was a lot more enjoyable than I thought it would be. Like, let me get into the stuff that I didn't like about it first. Number one, the animation is still a bit iffy. I feel like that's just gonna be like I don't know, I should just probably get over it, because that's what the animation's gonna look like, you know, I might as well, you know, build a bridge, get over it, whatever. Also, the songs were they were like half decent and like half bad. Like, okay. I like the princessy acapella songs more than I did the more pop songs, but maybe that's just because of my personal biases. Gotta Get to Camp is a bop though, not gonna lie. Okay, stuff I liked about this movie. I don't know, like I like the more down-to-earth Barbie stories, if you haven't been able to tell. Well, most of them anyway. Just ones with like some semblance of a soul in it. I don't know. Like, okay, I don't know why the princesses have to have a camp, but okay, just gonna go with it for the movie, I guess. Also, this gave off serious camp rock, like Pitch Perfect vibes. It was weird. Anyway, stuff I liked about this movie. I like the plot. I don't know. I like the threat of competition, because, I don't know, who doesn't, I suppose. I don't know. I have a bias. Let's see. I liked the characters pretty much. Like, there was no real characters that, like, annoyed me. The best characters in this, though, are probably, like, the villains. I'm not talking about, like, the campers who are, like, Actually, no, I don't. I don't like. No, I don't like Olivia. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about, like, there's this princess at the camp who's like a real jerk. And like, I kind of understand her points, but on the other hand, it's like, girl, you just straight up a jerk. But like, she's not really a big part of the movie, so it doesn't bother me. She's not like the main antagonist. She's more like a side antagonist, if anything. But the main villain of this movie is the lady who runs the princess camp. Or I should say royalty camp, but let's be real, the gender ratio is really skewed in these camps. I swear, it's crazy. And then the guy from but the royalty camp owner and the pop camp owner, they had a relationship in the past. Like, dude, the sexual tension was there, and it was achieved. Well, they didn't have sex in the movie. At least I don't think so, unless something happened in that weird elevator trapdoor tube thing. But I don't know. Either way, they're great. Like, I don't know, but they were funny. They were on point. I like them. I was like, are they gonna get together at the end of this? And they did, and I was happy. Clive, the chick's assistant, he had the best voice acting in this movie, not gonna lie. Like, wild. And he was like super into, like, legit, he wanted royalty lady's coochie so bad. He was thirsty. Like, he was thirsty. It was weird. He was talking to himself and like, bro, seriously, get on bruh, he is the real villain of the movie if you really think about it. He literally bribed a judge. It was actually the funniest part of this movie, which there's not really that much intentional comedy to be made. I don't know, I just like laughing at his voice. But like, the lady finds out that like her assistant bribed one of the judges, and she's like, which judge? And then you just like, and then it cuts to like one of the judges' chairs, and then just a sound effect of like like wheels just like peeling out of the area, and it was really funny. I was dying. Maybe it's because it's like 1 a.m. and it's premium crackhead hours, but I don't know. That scared me. That's my dog. Anyway, this movie wasn't that bad, actually. I don't know. I liked it. Like, some parts of it like were cliche. It's the whole, oh no, we gotta save the camps. Oh no. Again, very Camp Rock 2, the Final Jam-esque, at least in my opinion. But you know what? It could have been worse. Like, the only real complaints I have is that, like, the songs were kind of, like, I wish they were better, but you know what? What are you gonna get? It's a modern Barbie movie. I'm not expecting them to go and do, like, another Island Princess or Princess and the Pauper. Well, scratch the Princess and the Pauper thing. I don't think they're gonna do songs like that again, which really makes me sad. But like, the kids gotta be, it's gotta be fresh for the kids to like it. Also, for some reason, they put in fantasy elements in this movie, like the magic microphone thing, and then they also have unicorns at the royalty camp. For some reason, I don't get it, but okay. Like, again, it's like, okay, so this is like a fairly realistic movie, and then all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, you want to see our unicorns? It's like, what? Like, listen, I can suspend my disbelief. Clearly, I've had to a lot for these movies. Got to take some mental liberties. But like, seriously, the unicorns don't even do anything. They're just there. Why not just make them normal horses or something? I don't know. It really, not gonna go there. Not gonna go there. Also, another thing I liked about this movie is the backgrounds, like the design of like the pop camp especially, like that's on point. Like their building, like the building, like their like main office building, it like zooms out and you can see like it's in the shape of like a grand piano, and then like the stairs, they look like piano keys, and I'm like, that's on point. That is on point. Anyway, what do I give this movie? You know what? I give this movie a 7 out of 10. Like, I don't know, like maybe, I don't know. I think I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's not that bad, but I don't know, the songs, I don't know, like there are cliches in there. Like there's some characters that really don't need to be there. But you know what? It's decent enough. I'm surprised. Okay, Barbie and the Great Puppy Adventure, or Barbie and her sisters in the Great Puppy Adventure. That is a mouthful, so I'm just gonna say just the subtitles, I guess. Anywho, there's not much I really have to say about this movie. This was just a nice, wholesome story. There wasn't really anything too annoying in it. So, 6 out of 10. Not much to say, just wholesome. Okay, Barbie Squire Squad. No, Barbie Spy Squad. Lucky for me it's on Netflix, so I didn't have to pirate it. Woo! I'm kidding. I don't pirate any of these movies. What are you talking about? I don't do that. Nope, not me. Not one. Nope. Anyway. Barbie Spy Squad. I'm gonna keep it simple. Boring. Predictable. I don't like how the villain girl changed sides at literally the last minute. Also, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of the stuff in this movie that they could have cut out, like the montage of them trying on, like, the random costume pieces, like, that could have been cut out in my opinion. I don't know, it's just predictable spy story. Also, little nitpick of mine, why would you wear, like, the brightest colors possible as spies? Or if you're sneaking into, or if you're, like, the villain in this movie, she has, like, bright, like, I think it's like neon blue hair, I'm pretty sure. Like, girl, no. And she also has like sparkly sequined cat ears or something. And I'm like, girl, seriously, why would you wear that in a high-risk situation? Like, yo, listen, Totally Spies has this problem too. Speaking of which, if I wanted to see a team of spy girls and be entertained, I'd watch Totally Spies. Is Totally Spies the best? No, but at least it's entertaining. This is just boring. I don't, like, seriously, think of Barbie in a spy environment, boom, there you go. Like, it's exactly as predictable as you think it would be. Also, they changed Barbie's voice actress for this again, and I'm like, why? I don't get it. I don't know, maybe this voice actress will help, like, her singing voice actress blend a little better, because, I don't know. I'm not too keen on the voice so far, but maybe if it helps blend into her singing voice better, then that's fine, I guess. I don't know, it's like you guys got Kelly Sheridan back and you're not gonna use her? Okay, sis, I see how it is. I don't know. Or maybe they're just gonna switch between the 3 voice actresses for the next couple of movies. I don't know, either way, what do I give this movie? I give it a 2. It's just so predictable, and that disappoints me. Starlight Adventure, done. Let me just tell you this, it is a disgrace to sci-fi. Movie. First of all, Barbie is actually named Barbie in this movie. Like, she's just playing herself, I guess. And I'm like, that really throws me for a loop. Like, that's really weird. It'd be like, Barbie, come here. And then I'd be like, huh? I'd be very confused. And I'm like, why didn't they just come up with a character name? Is it just her? This really messes with the in-movie lore, and it's weird. Second of all, there is a narrator that doesn't need to be there at all. Third, the musical numbers, if you even want to call them musical numbers, like, the music, it's not even... First of all, the music's not good, except for maybe the end song. Like, not the one in the credits, but the one played at, like, the very... like, the last scene in the movie. That was kind of a bop, but just because it was funky. Something that we never get in these Barbie movies. I don't know. Like, okay, also, it takes forever to actually get to the adventure part of the movie. It takes until, like, you're about 40 minutes left into the movie to actually get to the whole adventure part of it. Also, the whole plot revolving around, oh no, the stars are going out. Like, that's not even, we don't have, like, a countdown or anything until all the stars are gone. Like, it's just treated as a minor inconvenience at best. It's like, oh yeah, the stars are going out, but you know what? We can just take our time with this ball we're gonna have. I don't know. Like, I don't know. There are no stakes in this movie. It's just really, I don't know. It's not even like, they don't even say what would happen if all the stars went out. Like, there is no mention of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, the stars are gonna go out. Like, we don't know what'll happen if they all do. Like, we get no explanation. I'm so mad. These movies are getting to me. They started getting to me a long time ago, but I just want to be out of this hellscape that I trapped myself in, for sure. Also, one thing I've noticed about this movie in particular is that they really, or the past few movies actually, like the eyes are rounder, and it looks like they're trying to go for like the Disney, anything past 2010, like Disney style, you know what I mean? Like Disney style and like their CGI with the eyes and stuff. And especially like with Barbie in this movie, because Barbie has kind of like the side braid going on, she really looks like a knockoff Elsa, and it's kind of distracting. Also, I think they got a new voice actress for Barbie again in this movie. Like, what happened to the other one from the movie that was, like, the last movie that was made in, like, the same year? Like, what happened there? I don't know. Also, this thing, like, okay, this thing does not look good enough to be in theaters. Let me tell you, let me repeat, this was in theaters. It was a limited theatrical release by Fathom Events, but it was still in theaters regardless, and it made like $1 million in like a day, and I'm like, what? Why? It doesn't look good enough to be in theaters, I'm just saying. Also, the sci-fi world, there is no world building. Like, everything is just boring. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing creative about this, you know? Also, annoying twin characters. And they have this whole telepathy sort of thing, which, like, okay, you know, sort of typical twin thing, you know, at least. But, you know, at least that's something, but they just never really use it to any advantage. As a matter of fact, the entire mission is just left up to Barbie, because of course it is, because she's the main character, and it's just Deus Ex Machina Barbie. At the very end, it's like, oh, you just have to look up to the stars and dance. Like, sis, no. No. I don't know, just, oh, this movie makes me so mad. Maybe it's because, like, I am a sci-fi fan, but just, I don't know. It's so boring. There's nothing interesting in it. Like, the only good things that I can say about this movie is that, like, Barbie's friend with the purple hair, who, like, I don't know, I've seen from people, like, who ship them, like, okay, ship them. I get, you know, there could be romantical vibes there, and I'm just not getting it. I don't know. But her hair is cool, and that's it. Also, the backgrounds are nice, the backgrounds are pretty. Like, again, maybe it's because I'm into the galaxy aesthetic, and you can't really mess that up too bad. You know, like, that looks fine. But everything else about this movie, like pretty backgrounds and a character's cool hair, is not going to distract from the fact that this movie just has not much going for it. Like, they tried to do a sci-fi story, but there's nothing interesting about it. There is little adventure in Starlight Adventure, let me tell you. Also, the outfits are ugly. I know that's a shallow thing to point out, but I'm being serious. Like, it's a Barbie movie, those are important for most of these, so I might as well point it out. You know? It makes sense. Like, early on, I guess, in the movie, she has to go to a ball, and she has, like, this dress on, and it's ugly. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Just the faces in these movies. Also, this movie doesn't have a villain, per se. Like, the King and Barbie, at the very least, are, like, not even frenemies. They're just, I don't know, just a weird, like a weird boss dynamic. I don't know. I was fully expecting him to be the villain, but apparently not. So I'll give the movie props for not making him a villain. But again, there's no stakes in this movie. So what's even the... I'm so mad. 2 out of 10. Like, come on. I'm really scared for what video game magic is gonna be. Also, another thing about this movie is that at the very end, they make Barbie a princess. Keep in mind, Barbie is not of royal lineage. She doesn't marry into it or anything. She's just honorary princess by the king, who didn't even really like her in the first place. It's like, well, Barbie, you did good on your mission. You are undisciplined, but just go with it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing a papyrus voice for him, but whatever. And then, like, in the next scene... that's presumably like a day later or something. I'm assuming. I don't know. There is no sense of time in this movie. But then all of a sudden she's like, it's like, oh, hello, princess. Like, whoa, when did Barbie become a princess? When did her and the king become on such buddy-buddy terms that she's an honorary princess? Like, yeah, she saved the galaxy, kind of, I guess. But, like, still, that doesn't, I don't think that would warrant her being an honorary princess. Like, sis, I don't think that's how it works, and it's really weird, and I feel like they just did that just to get princess in the merchandising. This movie makes me angry. Not angry, it's just, like, it makes me frustrated. These movies are busting my balls. For lack of a better term. 2 out of 10. I'm really scared for video game magic. I'm really, really scared. Taking another thing I love and might possibly ruin it. I'm scared. Barbie and his sisters in a puppy chase. Done. Again, another decent Barbie and her sisters movies. Again, I don't mind these movies too much. Honestly, if there was like a legit TV show made of them, I think it wouldn't be so bad. Just sort of decent, you know, like, decent cartoon, you know what I mean? Thinking, I don't know, like, early morning Nickelodeon, if that makes sense. This movie, the one problem I had with it was just, I don't know, like, okay, it may be a little bit of a nitpick, perhaps, but they all so the girls get lost trying to look for their dogs in Hawaii because for some reason they brought the puppies from the last movie to Hawaii with them when Chelsea, that's her name, right? Chelsea? Kelly? Help? Where Chelsea has like a dance competition going on or something in Hawaii, which like, okay, which like, that's fine. That could be a movie in and of itself. But they bring the puppies along with them for some reason, for no reason. Like, why would you bring these infant doggos to Hawaii with you, especially when you have something going on already, being the competition? That's super important. Like, and then they get lost, and like, everyone's like, oh no, we gotta find the puppy, what are we gonna do? Oh no, Chelsea can't make it to her dance competition. It's like, first of all, that wouldn't all of this crap wouldn't have happened if you guys didn't bring the puppies along. Like, seriously, like, surely Barbie, with her connections, could have, you know, I don't know, could have kept someone in the house to stay with the puppies or, you know, watch them or something, dog sit, but no. But no. Oh, that was disturbing, I'm sorry. They're like, oh no, because we went to that horse dancing competition thing. Like, oh no, like, we're not gonna make it to the dance recital. It's like, no, because your dumb butts brought the puppies in the first place to Hawaii. Like, it's your fault. It's your guys' fault for doing this. Like, seriously, the whole thing could have been avoided if you just left the dogs in Malibu, but no, they didn't. For some reason, I don't know, that was dumb. Also, another dumb thing, at the very end of the movie, Chelsea, like, falls flat on her face during the dance competition. And then, like, the sisters get involved with the dance, too, and then the horses from earlier, then the dogs, like, and then, okay, Chelsea wins, but I think she should have been disqualified, honestly. Does that sound mean? Because, like, okay, I don't know, she's at a over advantage. Because the other girls were just dancing on their own, you know, solo acts or whatever. But then here comes Chelsea. She falls during her dance. It's like, okay, you could recover from that. But then, like, oh no, Barbie and her sisters got to come in. And then, like, oh no, the horses got to dance. And then, oh, the dogs. It's like, sis, first of all, you would probably get disqualified. Like, that isn't... You're putting everybody else at a disadvantage because, oh, they do... Oh, I'm sorry, Lindsay, do you have dancing horses? No. Do you have dancing dogs? No. Do you have sisters helping you? No. I don't know. I just think that Chelsea shouldn't have won, and maybe they could have put in a message of like, oh, winning isn't everything. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. But no. I sound way more angry about it than I actually am. I'm just saying it's dumb, okay? But the lesson was something like, oh, you know, don't give up. Or you can bounce back from failure, basically, is what I got from that. And I was like, cool. I don't know. I give this one like a 5. Again, like these Barbie and their sisters movies, they're like decent at best, I'd say. So yeah, that's my rating. I only have 2 more movies to go. I'm so happy to get this over with.
Each other that I can just sail on by. Let's do this.
Are you ready for what the Chris is cooking?
I'm sorry, was that a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson reference in this movie? I'm already losing my mind. I'll get to it more later, but like I'm not even 10 minutes in and I'm already losing it. Video game magic, done. Okay, so this movie, it wasn't as big of a disgrace to video game culture as I was expecting it to be. It wasn't a good movie. But at least it had an interesting gimmick to it, i.e. the art styles changed every time they went to a new level. So that was cool. That was nice. Otherwise, I don't know. Like, I actually, in the first level, quote unquote, of the movie, like, they changed up the animation, like, a little bit. Like, not the overall animation look, but they changed Barbie's look for the movie. She has a little bit more of a chibi style by the looks of it, I guess I could call it. But they changed the animation so that way it looks like it's going at like 5 frames per second. And it really threw me off guard. And this scene maybe lasts like 15, 20 minutes. Maybe not 20, but like it lasts a while. So that kind of, I don't know, that kind of threw me for a loop and I was like, wait a minute, are they supposed to make it look like, you know when you play a game online but you don't have like good connection, so sometimes it lags. It looks like a laggy game, that's what it looks like. So maybe that was the aesthetic they were trying to go for, I don't know. I wish they could have done more like styles of games, I guess, because they did, I guess the first level could be considered modern CG games, I suppose. I don't know how to really accurately describe it. And then for the last one, they kind of went into like a Pokemon Quest sort of style, like Roblox. I don't know. I want to see Barbie in a first-person shooter. That's all I'm saying. Barbie in Fortnite. I'm surprised they didn't floss. But actually, this movie was made like at least a year before Fortnite really blew up in 2018, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Well, actually, I know the answer to that. It is a blessing in disguise for sure. I don't know, but just, the animation, some parts of it look fine, like the 2D segment looks fine. Like, how come they've never actually made like 2D, like a 2D Barbie film or something? Okay, I know that they made like 2 little like TV specials in the 80s, which I didn't put on this list of movies because I don't think I can really find them anywhere, even if I did want to watch them. Then again, I haven't wanted to watch the majority of these movies in this list, but you know what? Whatever. Surprisingly, this movie wasn't infuriating as I thought it was going to be, but the one thing that does kind of make me mad about this movie is, okay, well, for one, there's no villain, which isn't a huge problem, but I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. Well, I guess there are villains in this movie. Emojis. Emojis are the villain. Oh, that hurt me inside. It gave me Emoji Movie flashbacks, and I don't want to relive that. And also, apparently, one of the side characters, Cutie, who's like the little in-game tutorial guy, who's like, his whole backstory is like, ooh, woo, I was so lonely, but I don't know anything about programming, so I just screwed the entire world. Please forgive me. And like, like, boy, you practically destroyed the video game universe, for starters. Why? I don't know. It's just like, dude, like, he doesn't really get any repercussions for this either. He's just like, oh, don't worry, we forgive you. Like, sis, I didn't even like him that much in the first place. Also, I was scrolling through the Barbie wiki last night, and I found this weird, like, poll on there about like Cutie from this movie. Let me find it and let me read. Okay, so here it is. It says, "Am I okay? I'm in love with Cutie. Like, it's bad. Really bad. I want us to get married. Don't know how, but I want it. I've made up so many gorgeous headcanons that my brain refuses to accept canon. Lamau." Lamau. What? Now, Cutie isn't even a humanoid character. It's an animated cloud. Like, what? I don't know if this is a child or something. I'm not shaming, but I am a little confused. Like, okay, sis, you do you, but, I don't know. What do I give this movie? I give this movie, I don't know. Cause like, okay, I like the idea of Barbie being a programmer. Granted, it looks like she's making the simplest game I can think of. Which, did that actually turn into a real video game? Like on the Barbie website or something? Because that, if it wasn't, that's a missed opportunity. Like, bruh, free marketing. Anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of Barbie being a programmer. I don't know why her little sister is there. Well, little sister, I should clarify. I don't know why Chelsea's in the movie. You would think that Stacy, being the more tech-savvy one, would be in this movie, but she's not. They make no mention of her, so I don't know. Also, another interesting tidbit about this movie is that they make mention to Barbie's mom. Like, Chelsea comes in the room, it's like, "Barbie, mom made cupcakes." It's like, I'm sorry, her mom's alive? Like, okay. Like, this is the thing, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I've had this headcanon that I've been playing around with watching these movies, especially the Barbie and her sisters franchise, is that Barbie's parents are dead and maybe they were raised by their grandparents, or at the very least their grandmother in Wills, Wisconsin, until Barbie hit it big, moved to Malibu with her sisters, you know, and living the life up in the dream house. But maybe not? Which begs the question, where were their parents, or where at the very least is their mother? Like in the Barbie and her sisters movies, does she not want to hang out with them? Is their father dead and she has to like work all the time or something? Like, what is the situation there? Like, we need info, Mattel. I need to know more Barbie's backstory. The Barbie lore must be salvaged. Oh, these movies are breaking me. Okay. I don't know, but like, okay, the emojis are so stupid. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the animation still looks bad. I don't really like the look that they gave Barbie. I feel like they tried to go for like, maybe an anime vibe if I had to say anything. If I had to, you know, if I had to guess, but it's not even much of an anime vibe. I don't know. Barbie Magical Girl movie. How come they haven't made that? Okay, listen. Barbie as a magical girl. Listen, how come they haven't tackled that market yet? Sailor Moon has been pretty big for like 25 years, 20, 30 years, however long it's been. Long time. So like, how come they've never capitalized on that sort of thing? You figured they would have, especially by now, but I don't know. Anyway. What do I give this movie? I give this movie, I give it a 3. Like, it's still bad. And there's also weird product placement for Just Dance. I was fully expecting them to, like, not name drop Just Dance and just make up the name of a dancing video game. And then Chelsea's like, "Oh, Barbie, we can play your favorite game, Just Dance." And I'm like, huh? I was very confused. That also, there is a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson reference in this movie, which threw me off guard. Like, I know that The Rock has been in more, I guess, family-related properties as of recently. I say as of recently, like he wasn't in the game plan 12 years ago. Or however long ago that was. Do you guys remember that movie that he was in with Madison Pettis? And he was a football player, if I remember right? Good times. Anyway, I don't know, just weird reference either way. But yeah, also, you know what? You know what I would like to see, if not from like the actual like team at Mattel, but from like a doll like repainter or something? Okay, listen. I'm a slut for the Metroid games. I'm just gonna say that right now. I've been playing some of them over the past couple weeks, and they're really fun for the most part, aside from other but we don't talk about that one. We don't talk about her. But like Mattel or one of the repainters in the doll community, because I love watching custom doll videos like a lot. It's great. They're talented individuals. Someone make a Samus Aran doll, like if not in like her Varia suit, then her Zero suit. Listen, if someone doesn't do it, I'll do it myself. New video idea. I'm losing my mind.
Last one, boys, and I'm truly out of this hellscape. Oh, thank goodness, it's only an hour and 4 minutes. If I take out the credits, then it's probably only an hour long. Oh my god. Salvation has arrived.
Barbie, Dolphin Magic. Not that bad of a movie. Like, it's pretty mediocre. I didn't really like the villain too much, but at least Barbie didn't turn into a mermaid. Yeah, I really don't have much to say about this movie either. 5 out of 10. It's decent enough. And luckily Barbie doesn't turn into a mermaid. Or Barbie is a misunderstood mermaid princess. Like, I can't stand it. So that is all 36 Barbie movies that I've done? I'm so happy that they're over. Like, it is ridiculous. For the past couple of days, I've been watching 2 a day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but honestly, they're such a drag to sit through for the most part. Oh man, a lot of them. Okay, here's the tea. Here's the skinny on the situation. Forgive my lisp. I have my retainer in right now because I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm leaving. I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow. So, what are you gonna do? Anywho, final thoughts on the movies. I'd say that from 2001 to 2011, like, pretty much everything is, you know, at worst, you got Thumbelina, which I think is the worst out of the original movies that everybody sort of points to, which is the, like, 10-year span from, like, from 2001 to 2011. Everything made after 2011. Like, okay, here's the tea. Everything from 2001 to 2011, you know, there are obviously a few duds. You know, there are a few duds like Thumbelina. I guess, like, I don't know, Thumbelina, Perfect Christmas, you know, stuff like that. Like, yeah, there are some duds in the original sort of lineup that everyone sort of points to when they think of Barbie movies, which is generally around that time period. But for the most part, like, most of the movies are good, you know, if, you know, are just like, you know, pretty decent, everything considered. And then I'd say everything after Princess Charm School didn't need to be made. Like, honestly, if the Barbie movies had just been cut after Princess Charm School, so no other movies would have been made, I would have been happy, you know? If we just looked at it from that point of view, from like up until that point, which was like 2011, were there a few duds? Yeah, like stuff like Fashion Fairy Tale or, Thumbelina, you know, stuff like that, Perfect Christmas, you know? But at least it would have ended, at least on a fine, you know, on like a pretty decent movie, which is Princess Charm School. I'm recording this so much. Okay, here's the real tea. I'd say the last good movie that I would legitimately, I know that there are like some movies, like the Barbie and her sisters movies, you know, they're good, you know, they're nice, wholesome stories, all things considered. But the one that I would consider the last one with heart, no, that's not it. Oh man, I'm failing so much. Hold up. I'm so happy that I'm done watching these movies. Like, okay, here's the thing. Like, up to a certain point, the movies are, at best, great. And at worst, you know, you got Thumbelina. I just keep bashing on Thumbelina. I just really didn't like that movie. But then everything after 2011 didn't need to be made. Let me tell you that right now. Perfect Christmas didn't need to be made either. But if I had to cut it off at like a year, I'd cut it off at 2011. I feel like 2012 is around the time where the Barbie movies started to become more of a, I don't know, they started to become really shallow. I'd say Princess and the Pop Star, that was the tipping point for the movie franchise. To me, that's when everything got flipped on its head, in my opinion. You know? Like, it's so shallow. They took a story that once, you know, had a decent amount of heart in it, that everybody loves, and then turned it into a shallow husk of what it was formerly. And it wasn't good. It was terrible, like we all know. I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint. A lot of these movies, they weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. I was really worried for the Barbie and her sisters movies, but those turned out all right, all things considered. But everything after 2012, like, my gosh, like, the oversaturation of tropes like the fairy trope or the mermaid trope or, you know, stuff like that. It really seemed like they were running out of ideas or they were using the same ideas over and over again. I really don't know. Like, everything after 2011, because I do believe that 2011 was the cutoff period between the gold age, for the most part, of Barbie movies, and then 2012 and onwards. Why do you keep saying onwards? Onwards. 2012 and onwards being the dark age, clearly. Like, I can't. I don't know. Something seemed really shallow about the movies. Maybe once they changed the art style, maybe they changed a bunch of stuff around too, like in production. I don't know. But something changed. I don't know. They made Barbie look more cartoony, which isn't a huge problem, but the animation kind of is. It, especially with characters that are supposed to be older. Like, Barbie's dad in Starlight Adventure looks like he's only a few years older than her. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, their grandma in the Barbie and her sisters movies looks like their friend who just dyed her hair gray. Remember when that was a trend? Yeah, maybe she was one of those the whole time. Who knows? I don't know. It's just, a lot of the movies were really boring. Secret Door, Pearl Princess. There was just nothing. Oh man, there was little, if any, redeeming qualities about those movies in particular. I don't know. It's just, the movies became shallow after 2011. And I know that someone's going to say, oh, well, it's Mattel, you know, oh, it's Barbie. Like, what do you expect? You know what I mean? Like, merchandising up the butthole with, like, all of the, you know, all the stuff that Barbie has done over the years. Literally a conglomerate worth billions of dollars. And to that I say, okay, I get you there, but they didn't have to make the movies shallow, which they totally did, definitely by the time Princess and the Pop Star came out. I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the way, it's like, hey, remember that story that everybody really loved? You know what I mean? Like, you know that story that everybody loved? Yeah, let's remake it into, oh, terrible movie with terrible songs, terrible animation. I'm serious, like, maybe it's because I like the original so much. You know, Princess and the Pauper, great movie in my opinion. Because, yeah, it is a bar. I can't. So what are my final thoughts on the Barbie franchise as a whole? Again, you know, I actually found some really nice hidden gems, or maybe some of them weren't hidden, but definitely some that I'd never seen before. Like the earlier ones, like Barbie Swan Lake, I really like that one. Island Princess, I loved for the most part. Tika. Anyway, sorry. Really got some congestion going on. Yeah. Anywho, but yeah, I was able to find some pretty nice hidden gems. You know, I'd never seen Island Princess before, Diamond Castle I'd never seen, and it was nice, you know what I mean? They were just movies that really accentuated the shallowness that had happened to the movie side of the brand. Princess and the Pop Star, I'm looking at you. Like, I think that may just be, like, the worst movie out of all of them. Not Not because of the bad pop songs or the bad animation or anything like that, because believe you me, those are all contributing factors. But the main one is that they took a story that everybody loved, or you know, most people who have seen it have really liked the movie, and then they like that one. It just sealed the fate of the movie franchise to be, hey, let's put no heart into the story, no charm, no nothing. Let's take out everything that people liked about the first one and then ruin it. But cover it up in pink glitter and just assume it'll be okay because it's for girls. Like it's for little girls. No one, you know, we don't have to try. And you could feel the ripples. Like, do you think there was any heart made in The Secret Door? No. Do you think there was any heart put into something like, I don't know, Pearl Princess or like, I don't know. I don't know why I keep bringing those two movies up. I don't know. I need my list. But yeah, I feel like that was the turning point of the movie franchise, and that's where everything started to go super downhill. And it's no wonder, because they made 3 movies a year for years. Like, maybe not in the last couple of years, like maybe that was like 2 movies a year or something. But still, like 3 movies a year, they were doing that for a long time. And maybe it could have been due to fatigue, maybe it could have been to production demands, I don't know. And this was an interesting experience. I never want to do this again. Like, if you were to ask me, like, oh, you know, how many Barbie movies should I watch? Like, what should I get up to? I'd say stop after Princess Charm School, because that's where the movie should have stopped. And are there a few hidden gems in the later era of the movies, like the, you know, Barbie and her sisters movies? Sure, you know, like they're okay, they're all right, but I wouldn't be like super upset if everything from 2012 onwards was wiped from the franchise completely. Like Thanos snapped out of existence. I would not be sad. You know? If you guys want to do this, first of all, I don't wish that on anybody. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. But if you do, proceed with caution. Where does the Barbie movies go from here? I don't know. There's going to be that one with Margot Robbie in 2020. So I'm kind of excited to see where that goes. It's probably going to be a life-size ripoff, but I like life-size. So, you know, maybe when that movie comes out, maybe I'll post a review of it. I don't know, you know, to keep up. And if any, for some reason, there haven't been any Barbie movies released for the past 2 years, which I'm glad of, because that means that I wouldn't have to put in like another few nights of watching these, because I cannot take this anymore. I can't. Little girls deserve better in media. They really do. They deserve better media than the later Barbie films. I'm so glad that this is all over, honestly, and I can finally enjoy my summer vacation while I still have before I go to college. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get it out, but I will. I'm assuring it. Also, wait, I just noticed I have 2 pink sequined fedoras, and I didn't wear them throughout any of this video, and I am upset about that. I didn't realize it. Go back to a lot of these, yeah, stuff like Magic of the Pegasus, Island Princess, stuff like that. You know, those are the real gems that I actually really liked. Those are basically my thoughts. I don't know. These movies are just getting to me. I don't know if I'll make like a Smash-esque tier list on these movies, if it exists, but who knows, maybe I will at some point post it on Instagram or something. Speaking of which, follow me on Instagram down below in the description. I really need the followers. I'm almost to 200, fam. Okay, I'm gonna go. Wait, I'm gonna go and do something productive, I'm sure. Who am I kidding? It's me. That's never gonna happen. Anyway, see you guys in my next video. Bye!